to Andycharger Live here on a Monday. I hope you're all well. I'm back from the International TT show just last weekend, and what a great time we had. We've got lots to cover tonight. Wherever you're watching from tonight, let me know in the comments below. Why don't you post up where you're watching from? It'd be great to know where you are watching or tuning in from, should I say, to me this evening. I'm still tired from a great weekend, but what a great weekend it was. I'm just having a quick look. I think there's some few things up already. What does that say? Getting the banjo bolt off the steering rack is, well, a nightmare in most cases. I reckon I've probably missed some chat already, but guys, have I missed a lot of chat, or is that last week's? I think that might be actually this week's, guys. I think you've all been chatting before I've gone live, so I'm going to do some back reading, aren't I, to make sure I've not missed anything. But again, I hope you're all well. I can just see there the first message is Claire Burke. I'm sorry to hear you're in bed with a chest infection, Claire, but you did. It says you're going to catch it on repeat. I think Keith, my friend, might be listening though. I've told him to take notes. Okay, thanks, Claire. If you are watching, I hope you're feeling better soon, and highly recommend you look at trying to come along with us next year to the International TT show, because you missed a great show. I know that I've got to come back to you on a few bits. I did come back via email last week, but hopefully you've looked into that information, and we'll catch up again soon. Darren's on. Bummer. Yeah, okay. He's talking about Claire being ill. Darren, thank you for your video. Darren sent me a personalised video on YouTube last week, giving me a walk around his collection of his cars. I think I might be doing a collab with Darren in the near future, so we can look all around his Audi collection. I think you'll all find it really interesting. I have to say, I've started hearing and overworking. I was parking at low revs. Thanks, Claire. Oh, Claire, thank you. You've made a donation of £10. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you very much for making a donation to the channel. Very much appreciated, particularly after the weekend we've just had over in Belgium. It's been an expensive old trip, but highly worthwhile. And we're going to talk all about that tonight, and many, many other things to boot. I met so many people at the weekend, so many people that said, Andy, I watch your videos and it really helped me, and just general feedback about it. And it's so great to hear when you do something like YouTube and you actually hear back from people that are watching from all over the world. And there were people there this weekend from all over the world, and it just blew my mind how far people have travelled. I thought the UK guys and girls had travelled a fair distance, but there was someone, Felix, had come all the way from Norway and joined us for dinner on Friday night. So thank you, Felix. If you're watching tonight, I know that you're looking forward to the video and photos that come from the show. Guys, if you are enjoying what you're watching, and you enjoy my content, then please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Share this video far and wide. Make sure you're telling all of your friends that may be Audi TT fans that they are enjoying the content as well. So guys, lots of thumbs up coming. So thank you very much for that. Keep sharing and showing the support. The car made it back, as you can see behind me. The car made it back in one piece. It's there right now. And we actually, on the way back, we stumbled across. I say stumbled across because we have been past it at Popperinge before. There's a car show just outside Ypres, about 5 miles, about 8 kilometres outside Ypres. There is a car show on a Sunday morning there. And bizarrely, we turned up and there were some guys from the UK still there that had turned up that I've seen there before. Some of the TT addicts were there. So we stopped and we had a quick photo opportunity, caught up with the guys, and then set on our way off to the port to get back. And we were packed as we drove off. So I've seen some really good pictures of us driving, like in a moving scene, but the car looks still. It looks amazing, great footage. So thank you very much for the guys that took the pictures. I left the car outside last night and it got rained on, which wasn't great because I don't like getting the car wet. But it was rained on last night. But I've got one of these. Where's that towel? Oh, it's out there having a dry at the moment. I've got Bryn gave me a drying towel, BWSTT. He does a lot of work with the clay cloth company, and he gave me one of their drying cloths. And it's amazing. You chuck it on the bonnet and pull it across, and it takes all the water off it, all the drops off it. Brilliant, brilliant bit of kit. So I recommend that. Check it out on Bryn's channel if you've not done so already. But yeah, so if you've got any questions for me, guys, I'm just going to scroll through and I'm going to see if I've missed it. You guys are talking to each other. That's all great. obviously, hope you've sorted that out. I'm just there's loads of comments there. Sorry, guys. I know you guys are having a great chat there. So hopefully you've got Claire's problem sorted out. You're late to the party, Andy. Yes, I was late to the party. I'm still late to the party. Still catching up the comments. You guys are fantastic. You're having the chats without me, and I love that. I love that I'm giving you guys the opportunity to talk and solve problems for each other. How amazing is that? You know, that's really great. Borja Gomez, what's up, man? Good to see you. Chris Clark, good evening, Chris. One of our new members quite recently. Thanks for joining on. Richard George, good to see you on, buddy, as well. Great to catch up with you at the weekend and see your lovely car in Ypres. Andy Mortimer, great to spend a few days with you this weekend, my friend, in Belgium. It was really quite cool at the car. Andy's cars. Andy joined us right here in the garage a couple of weeks ago. Richard joined us about a month ago in the garage as well. So great to see their cars in Belgium. So if you watch the channel on a Monday night and you were there on Saturday, hopefully you got to see those cars that we talk about in the flesh. Tony Bates, how you doing, buddy? Belgium looked amazing. Well done to all attended. Yeah, it was, Tony. It was a fantastic trip, and I can't recommend it enough. For those of you that haven't been to Belgium, get yourself along next year. Make sure you're there, because it's just an outstanding show that improves year upon year. This year we had a show and shine. We had a prize for best modified and standard cars as well. We just had a really great, it was like an Audi showroom from 25 years ago at one point. It felt like all the Mark 1s all being cleaned and polished and made to look their absolute best. There were a couple of Mark 3s in there as well, because they looked amazing too. But saw some really great cars, which I'm going to talk about tonight on the show, because there was a lot of things to share. What have I got? I'm still scrolling through the comments, guys. Halloween, hiya, Mrs. Jugs, Vanessa and Lee. What a privilege it was to spend the weekend with you guys. And of course, Tabitha, and see Tabitha in the flesh after speaking about her here on the channel many times. So thank you both for your time. It was a real privilege to meet you, and I hope you had a great time. I'm pretty sure you did. But again, thanks so much for coming along. I can't make it rain. Good to see you, Saturday, Andy. Yes, Jack, brilliant to see you, Saturday. You're one of those people that you're a bit of a stealth operator. You appear at the show briefly, and unless I grab you and say hi to you, I don't see you again all weekend. So great to see you, buddy, as always. Brilliant fun. Robert, Will, yes, Ypres was great. See you, Springfest. So, Robert, great to have you on tonight. So, Robert is going to be at Springfest, and he's coming over from Europe. So brilliant there. What an effort that's going to be. So Springfest is happening on the 31st of May here in the Garden in Kent. If you would like to be part of Springfest, it's important that you let me know via email. You give me your registration number and your name and contact details. We're going to do something a little bit different at Springfest this year. We are going to have a bit of a prize giveaway, which I'm going to talk about in a minute as well. But again, Springfest takes place on Sunday, the 31st of May, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Of course, it will be catered for once again by the Springbank Kitchen. My wife's business will be here, and they will have a range of sweet treats, savoury bakes, food and drink. It'll all be here for you to sample. So, of course, make sure you come along and support a great cause. What else have we got? So Robert is coming from the Netherlands. I see that on the comment there. So yeah, he's probably got one of the longer drives, maybe from the continent. But I know a lot of you guys are coming from the UK. I think Jim Girdwood's coming down from Scotland. He's got about a 7-hour drive. So we've got people coming from all over. Stephen Craddock, how you doing this evening, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Christoph, how you doing, buddy? I think I'm getting to the end of the initial welcome comments now, but good to have you all on tonight, guys. I hope you had fun in Belgium. You had lots of amazing photos I've seen here. Where do I start? I've just spoken then about all the great things that we've done at the weekend. So, again, the important thing for me was to get the car home safe, get the car cleaned, and not have any mechanical breakdowns on the way. And I think, fingers crossed, touching some wood, I think everybody made it home without an incident. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure everyone that I'm aware of had no mechanical issues. How many cars can you accommodate at Springfest? Steve Cowell, I can get 40 cars here in the Garden. That is my absolute limit. I've even chopped a few hedging trees down over the winter months that were sort of compromising another space. So I've done that in the name of TTs and also to give us a better view down the garden. So yeah, it's a big, nice big square for you to park on. If you've not seen it, go onto the channel, not right now, but obviously a bit later on. Go onto the channel and just type in Springfest in there and take a look back at the show from last year and the year before. We've got some drone footage on there as well. So we were lucky last summer for Springfest. We had 3 papayas in the garden at once, mine included, and we had 2 Imlay yellow cars, and we also had an Abt yellow car as well, which has been refinished in Renault Liquid yellow. So we had 6 cars all lined up, yellows and papayas. Looked amazing. So it'd be great to recreate that again this summer. Did you remember to ask the Quattro Sport Guru my questions, please? Tony, I haven't. I had David, the guy that I wanted to speak to, David Pring. I forgot to speak to or grab him on the last day to get some information. I spent an evening with David, but he was one end of the table and I was the other. I never got to ask all the questions. I never got to film with David as well. So, but I will get that sorted out for you, Tony. Don't you worry. Alex, yeah, not one engine light on that trip for me. That's brilliant. And Alex TTV6, I'm pretty sure Alex has got a new little toy in his box of tricks there now, a small one of these. And Alex, we need to talk and see if you can put me in touch with that guy so I can get one of his other 2 remaining items. I really would like to pick one up for this. I've also got something here to give you a few memories from the weekend, guys, for those who didn't remember me. Got a nice little glass of, it hasn't actually got wipers timed in it. It's got Coca-Cola in it for while I'm online, obviously. It helps lubricate the pipes when you're talking, but that is a wipers times glass right then. So if you you know me, you know I like a wipers. But yeah, I've also got, if he's on Andy Fardle, I've got something for you as well. If you want, I've got a bottle of sun cream there for you. That's another inside joke for the guys. But will our resident Viking be in attendance? That I don't know, Steve. He hasn't got a car anymore. He hasn't got a TT anymore to come along. I will ask him, see if he'll come along, because it'd be great to have him here as well. And I'll also ask the big man from the Midlands, see if he wants to come down as well, because it would be great to have him along to answer all your questions. The questions and answer session on Saturday didn't really take off as much as I thought it would, but it did allow me to introduce someone else to the conversation. We didn't obviously have the experts there. Myself and Richard George, who knows a lot about the cars, were there, but everyone was a little bit shy asking questions, I think, maybe on the day once I was in person. But not a problem. We can answer the questions tonight instead. But what Saturday allowed me to do was introduce you all to a gentleman by the name of Jos, who has actually taken a production roadster and reverse engineered it into looking like a concept roadster. So that very first concept roadster that came out in 1995, that I think Jos said it first was revealed at the Tokyo Motor Show in 1995, I believe. The coupe was revealed at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 95. The roadster wasn't quite ready, but they managed to get that ready for revealing at the Tokyo Motor Show. Now, the roadster looks quite similar to the production model, but there were some differences. I'm in the middle of editing a video down with Jos at the moment, which I will be bringing to the channel, hopefully on Wednesday night, guys. So that'll give you something to watch on Wednesday, talking all about that concept car roadster and some of the differences. So if you did see the car on Saturday, or if you didn't see the car, I can tell you about it. Some of the great differences that you don't really notice is on the sills of our car. They have, on the concept car, they've got a air vent towards the rear of the sill that was designed to feed air into the rear wheel arch and into the brakes to keep the brakes cool. What a great feature that was. I don't know why it didn't make it to production. Maybe it was a case that the production model didn't actually need that, or maybe it was too hard to make it work. The concept car also, it does feature the roll hoops, which I've got. You know the roll hoops. I'm going to grab the roll hoop so you know what I'm talking about, because I can demonstrate that. So here is an Audi TT Mk1 Roadster roll hoop, and as you can see, this has the 2 collars, and it goes into the main structure of the car, and it bolts into position. Now, if you look at the one on the concept car, it's not like this. It's entire metal tubing the whole way down, a big metal strut that goes across. And the reason for that is it wasn't structural on the concept car, it was just for show. But interesting that they took the design of the roll hoops and they did actually incorporate that design into the final production model. Oh, now you can look. Hello, this way. Hello, thank you. This way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. AI, I don't know. But yeah, on the concept model, it also had small vents on the side of the wing, at the rear of the wing, where you see your indicator lights right now. There's actually a little triangular vent there. Again, I'm not sure what the point was of that. It does have like a mesh grille behind it. They look pretty cool, but those sort of things didn't really follow the Bauhaus principle, because we know that Bauhaus is all about, you know, form. It's all about simplicity. It's about form is function, making it work. And adding vents to it, you know, I think Audi decided to smooth that off and just go with the straight lateral lines. The interior had originally a lot of exposed rivets as well, which were removed from the production model, I think, just for just production simplicity. I think is probably the best way to describe it. What else did it have that it didn't have? It had that hard plastic cover where the roof void was, to give that nice, smooth, sleek look. And actually, of course, the concept didn't have the spoiler. And Jos pointed something out to me quite interesting, and you can do this at home yourself. If you get your car and park it, and then walk back from the side, look at it the side, and back up, and then he's looking around the garage, so I can grab one to show you, which I haven't got here, but if I did have one, I'd show you. The shape of the light, the headlight from the side, if you think the top of the headlight and the underneath of the headlight, if you follow those two lines all the way to the middle of the car, and then turn that and follow those two lines out the other way, the rear lights and the headlights are actually symmetrical in that plane of light as you take those lines down. So if you cut the car in the middle, it would be symmetrical. Of course, the bonnet line and the rear line of the trunk on the spoilerless cars do look very similar, so it does look like the same. And of course, that is a big what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an attractive quality to the human eye. Is the human eye loves symmetry. So there you go. There you go. Someone told me that yesterday when we were walking around. I thought that's a great line. I'll use that in my life. So the human eye loves that. Phil P, how you doing, buddy? Dave Westrup, good to meet you at the weekend at last. Yes, great to meet you. Although you wouldn't sell me a pair of your side skirts, would you? That's what I'm still after, a pair of those. So guys, if anyone's got a pair of seals, maybe you sold your car and maybe you've got a spare set of seals knocking around. This car does need at least one. I know it's just starting to bubble up on that rear seal. Might speak to TPS and see if I can get some. But yeah, Pip was teasing me at the weekend that he has two sets of seals, but he doesn't want to sell any of them. But I totally get one. So yeah, guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching, then make sure you're giving this feed a little like as well, guys. Need to know that you're enjoying it. What's that? Just reading back through the comments, guys. That's a glass from the hotel. Cool. No, well, yes, it is a glass from the hotel, but you can buy them in a gift set. You can buy these in a gift set with a beer in it as well. So yeah. So there you go. Did I buy it? Yes, I did buy it. Of course, I bought it. I bought it with two beers. But yeah, it's great. Yeah. What area in Kent will Springfest be held? Tony Bates. I live in a village called Marden. If you know, that's between Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells. So that's where in Kent it will be. It's 45 minutes from Folkestone, from the Eurotunnel. So people from Europe, they want to come. It is about half an hour away from the M20, 20 minutes to half an hour away from the M20 where I live. If you're coming from the west side of the country, sort of Surrey, Sussex direction, or the west, further west, best way to come to me is down the A21. I'm off the M25, A21. And if you're coming from the north and you're coming round over the Dartford crossing, round to junction 4, off on the M20, and then off at Rootham, and then follow your sat-nav. But yeah, I can provide details. If you're interested, guys, everyone keeps saying, oh yeah, I want to come to Springfest, I want to come to Springfest. That's great, but I need to keep track of it. So you need to drop me an email so I've got confirmation of who you are and where you're coming from, so I can keep track of it. But again, it's 31st of May, 10 till 4. Be great to have many of you along. I know I have given first refusal to all my members. So of course, members get first refusal. So guys, if you want a first refusal for Springfest, you want to guarantee your space, because I can guarantee we're going to get oversubscribed. I would make sure that you're a member of the channel, because that's a good reason to make sure you get preferential treatment. I know a lot of my members are already coming, so we are going to run out of space quite quickly. TT is a hard chair. Do you mean the seats are quite hard? Probably are. You can still buy the seals from Andy. Can you, Andy Morton? You can still buy those seals, can you, from Audi? That's good to know. I will check that out as well. Would you like me to see if I can get my friend to get you a pair from TPS? Yeah, absolutely. Give me a price on that, Stephen, as well, if you can. That'd be really helpful. Bradley David, good evening to you, sir. Another member. I've got a lot of members on tonight chatting, which is great. And I did see a lot of members of the channel there on Saturday as well, which is great. And of course, a lot of people ask me about t-shirts. I know Rob bought one of our t-shirts at the weekend as well. So, of course, the merch is still available. And you can get that on by going to sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger. You can get that link on my Facebook Andycharger page. You can get that link through my links on my YouTube channel as well. So if you want to buy a hoodie, or if you want to buy a t-shirt, the hoodies are 30 and the t-shirts are 20. If you want a bit of memorabilia from the show, I've actually got 2 hoodies left here in extra small. So if you've got a small person, then extra small mans. So obviously it'd be small ladies. If you've got an extra small person that you want a hoodie for, I've got one in white and I've got one in milkshake left. And because I've got them here, they don't fit me. Rather than 30, I will do those both for £20 each. If anybody wants one of those, they can have it £20 plus the postage. Just drop me a message if you want one. So I've got those 2 left. I've got one in white and one in milkshake, and they are quite a nice little hoodie. I could show you that actually quickly right now. Shall I show you mine? And also up here, you can see I've just taken these down out of the car. Look at that. So that's the Andycharger hoodie. There you go. That's in milkshake. Lovely little hoodie there. So it's too small for me, but you can see that's an extra small. It's got the important bit on the front there. It's got the Andycharger logo as well. But the one bit of merch that will be coming up that you all want to see is this. This is the one. This is what you want. You want to be getting yourself the Springfest. That's what you want to be getting yourself. So that's the t-shirt, the Springfest logo. There you go. Comes with the badge on the back as well. That's a great t-shirt as well. So all good, all good, all good. So there's some t-shirts just in stock and ready to go. I'd love to come to Springfest, mate. I'll PM you for your email again. Of course, mate, you can do that, Steve. You know that. But of course, all the stuff is available on the store anyway. Me, I would like the extra small ones. Okay, Claire, I can do that for you if you want to do that. You want them both? I mean, if you want them both, I'm sure I can do that as well. But of course, Springfest is going to be a trial run for us this year. So if you were at the show from the weekend, you will know that Audi dealerships in Ypres were very kind to us, and they provided us some free gifts to give away and to use as prizes. So what we're going to do at Springfest, I am going to hold for the first time car of the day. And what I want to do is car of the day is going to be voted for by all the people that attend. So what I'm going to do, for those of you attending, you let me have your registration number. And if you want to vote for car of the day, all you need to do is go up to we'll have like an iPad set up, go up to it and just click on the car that you think is car of the day, on the registration you want to win. And the winner will win one of our gifts that was given to us by the Audi dealership. I'll put it right here. So this is, hello, I'm going to come over here now. Hello. So right, so there we go. So this is an official Audi rucksack. So this will be your prize. So if you win best car of the day at Springfest, good reason to give it a clean up. So there you go. There is an Audi rucksack. You can see it's got the embroidered logo on the front as well. There's all the instructions about how you use a rucksack. But of course, it's an official Audi one. It came from the Audi dealership. And they retail for about 45, 50 euros, I think. So they're quite expensive. But that will be the prize on the day. So if you want to be in with a chance to win it, you know what you need to do. You need to get cleaning your car up, making it look amazing. And car of the day will be that. So, of course, going back to car of the day at the weekend, if you were there on Saturday, or if you've seen pictures and you weren't actually there, what was your car of the day on Saturday from the video and for those in person? The car that really caught my eye, there were 2 cars that caught my eye really on Saturday as a new cars to me. There was a chap that was there that had Lambo doors that was parked in the show and shine, and the modified cars. It had a superb sound system in it as well. It was just an absolute gem of a car. Now, I'm not one to modify my cars, but it looked amazing. Jeff, good evening, sir. Got something for you here, Jeff. Little wipers. So the that Lambo door car was definitely my favourite modified car of the day. I think for like structural modifications, but I think the car that was catching everybody's eye on the day was, I think, Chris car. I think that's the car we're going to talk about. Was the car that looked like it was painted, well, it was painted by hand. It looks like a cartoon car. It's like it was. I can't describe it. I think those of you there would agree as well. The car itself was, to touch, was immaculate. It felt amazing. The body kit looked great on it. The paintwork looked great on it. And I've done a video on that. So yeah, I'll definitely look forward to that video. So the guy that owned that is a guy called Gillian. His name is also known as Cook, and it's Cooks_TT, but it's spelled KOEKES_TT. Cooks TT, I think is how it's pronounced and spelled. Amazing car, and he's also bankrupt_crew was his other website for it, his other Instagram handle as well. That was an amazing car. Again, I'm not one for wraps and bodywork and repainting and stuff, but that one looked like a wrap because it was so well done. And he was telling me he spent time designing it. He didn't actually do it himself. He gave it to a graffiti artist that did it for him. It's done, and it's a fantastic job. So I'll definitely worth checking that out on my video when it comes out this week. Thanks. Be back on tomorrow when I listen to you whilst working. Appreciate it, Tony. I know that you like to listen to me during the day, so we'll definitely give you a shout out and have a catch up. How you liked the black ABT Limited 2 Mark 1? Yeah, so that car I noticed was I think that was sparking a bit of interest actually in the chat. It wasn't a wide body car, was it? But it was an ABT car. It was definitely an ABT car, but it had the it was a narrow body version. There aren't that many wide bodies, as we know. We know one of those is Mike Morley's amazing car that's got the Warsteiner stickers on it. There are a couple of others around. There's the green one that goes around, which we know about, which we've seen in videos. There's one Alex Alex. Oh, what's Alex? I can't remember his surname now. It'll come back to me. I went to the Nürburgring with him a couple of years ago, but he has got one that he's done a nut and bolt restoration on, and it looks Alex Denny. That's just come to me then. Alex's car's a nut and bolt restoration, and it looks amazing. So I would highly recommend checking out that car if you see it. ABT cars look amazing anyway, but when they've been refinished and refurbished to that level and that level of detail, I must go and see Alex and try and see if I can do a video with him. So yeah, so the black car was the only ABT car. We had a couple of cars, a couple of one-offs there on Saturday, one-off colours. There was one Papaya, guilty. There was one Merlin Purple, Andy Mortimer, that would be yours. There was one Goodwood Green car, I think. And there was also, what I don't see many of, there was one Java Green car. And it was a UK car. And I was saying to someone, oh, I don't think I've seen this car before. Anyway, it belongs to Victor Lopez, who is actually based in the Kent and Southern TT group. So I'm hoping we might be able to encourage Victor to come along to Springfest. So that would be a great car to have here once again, and we can have a chat to him about that as well. What's in the comments? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to keep up with the comments as well, but definitely put the comments. Yeah, Jeff's missing the daily wipers. We're all missing the wipers, aren't we? But yeah, so there was I heard some really good stories from people about cars this weekend. It was great to meet with Lee and Vanessa and hear all about Tabitha and about how they rescued the car from the scrapyard and rebuilt it as well. You know, those are the sort of stories that make you realise that the TT is more than just a car. It's a passion. It gives people, you know, invigorates them and gets them to do something a bit different. So it's always great to hear those stories about how people have taken cars and either given them a second lease of life or they've done a restoration. Nick Schofield, hi Andy, new to Mark 1 TT, but just got a Dolomite Grey from Bryn and embarking on some maintenance. Couple of questions. Where best to purchase hull decks and filters, and anywhere local in Kent for alloy refurbishment. Nick Schofield, good to hear from you, buddy. Well, obviously, I'm in Kent as well. So you're more than welcome to always pop over, see me, and have a chat about a car if ever you need anything. I would say when I've bought oil, it tends to be the Febby Bilstein canister and the oil. You can get them on various online sites. I think I actually, bear in mind I did it last time about 4 years ago on the Roadster. I think I bought it from eBay. It was about 60 quid with the filter and the oil though, but it was genuine. I'd always be careful buying off eBay though, because even if they are looking like they're genuine parts and they are genuine items, would make sure. My advice would be to get yourself down to Audi or a VAG specialist like not TPS. Just go into a Volkswagen dealership that's got a parts store and they will get it for you. I would recommend keeping things as much as possible OEM. I've spoken about that many times, particularly sensors. Don't buy second aftermarket sensors. Always buy genuine. So think of it, electronic parts, always buy genuine. Mechanical parts, you can get away with aftermarket parts, but for anything electrical, always buy genuine. Rob Tobacco, I don't know if you're on here tonight, buddy, but we spoke at the weekend, met Rob for the first time. He's a channel member. It was great to meet Rob. You know, in these things where you guys see me, but I don't see you. So when I meet you for the first time, it's always a bit like, oh, that isn't who I thought you'd be. So it's always interesting. You never know who you're going to meet. But I met Rob for the first time on Saturday. We had a really good chat. He had lots of questions for me, and I'm hoping I've answered most of them, Rob. But one of the questions was over your cluster and the 4 motors that you want to get replaced. So I have sent you a message on Instagram tonight, mate. So hopefully you've got that. Sean has come back with some information for you and suggested maybe you don't need them all done and just go with what's required. Well, just reading back. Andy Morton says, great weekend. I would highly recommend attending. Absolutely. It's, I'd say, of the TT shows or the car shows that go on throughout the year, there's nothing to rival it. Nothing to rival it, because there's just so many elements to it. You can have 5 days. We had 5 days over in Belgium and still not have enough time to do everything. So you can come over, you can go and do the walking tours around all of the various war memorials and things. You can go have a day in Bruges. You can go have a day in Ghent. We had 2 days in Ghent, really, or a day and a half. They're all an hour from Ypres, so you can get to these things nice and easy. Ypres is about an hour from Calais, so you all these things nice and easy. So you're never too far away in case you've got mechanical problems. Always good. I've seen a business that replaces the LCD screen on flipping bangers. Do you know this business's name? Sean Blenko is the person I would use. Claire, he is Motive Electronics, and he is based in Milton Keynes. You can find Sean Blenko on most of the Facebook groups as well, so it's definitely worth checking out. Have you heard anything from Dom Parrott? Dom is doing very well for himself over on TikTok, guys. He is the Fragrance Viking over on TikTok. He's now doing fragrances and aftershaves. For those who know, Dom is like a guru of the Audi TT Mark 1 world. Love Dom to bits. He is as real and genuine in person as he is when you see him in his videos. He's just a lovely guy. And I think he's a massive loss out of the community when he's not making videos. I hope one day he'll come back into it because he loves his cars. Maybe he will come back at some point, but he hasn't got a car at the moment. I would like to see if I can encourage him to come for Springfest. He has been here a couple of times before, and it's always great to catch up with Dom. It was the last gasp on the way back to the shuttle when we stumbled across a cracking car meet. Some amazing local cars there. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. I mean, I've seen that before, that car meet, and you know, should we have stopped? Well, I think we should. We did make our trains. Well, I think you guys were 12 minutes behind us on the train. But we made the train. I think I was a bit more frugal through the passport control than you guys. But yeah, jumping into those car shows that appear out of nowhere, driving past the car show, and of course we got to do some great pictures as we got taken. We got packed as we went past, which is always good. So yeah, so the big things coming up for us, as I've mentioned, Springfest, as we've got coming up. We've also got Quattrofenia, which is the first weekend in September, guys, which, as you know, is our run from Crawley down to Brighton, our London to Brighton run. We start at the Duke's Head pub at 11 a.m. We meet at 11 a.m. and we roll down to Brighton, have some dinner in Brighton or some late afternoon dinner and food on the marina. It's free parking there as well, which is really good. And everyone lines up at the top of the marina on the top open air car park. Great photo opportunities as well. Brilliant. Motivate Transit are in Hemel Hempstead. Oh, Phil, yeah, I've said they were in Hemel Hempstead, and someone told me they were in Milton Keynes. So I'm a bit unsure about what's right there. I've only spoken to Sean at shows, but there you go. If he's in Hemel Hempstead, Milton Keynes, it's only about 10 miles apart, I think. But whichever he's in, he's based down there north of London, about half an hour north of London, Claire. So if you want to get it done, get in touch with Sean and he can help you out for definite. Stephen Harper, hello from Ireland. Hello, Stephen. It's about time we got you out to Ypres, isn't it? You keep threatening to attend these shows, but you never leave your Emerald Isle. We need to get you out there, buddy. It'd be great to have you out there as well. You'd love it. You would. Andy, I'm hearing a whirring for my heater. I'm turning it off. Trying a heater blower. Cost is a. What's the sort of whirry noise, Claire? I mean, they all make a bit of a whir. It could be something caught in the fan. Getting it all taken apart. It's more fiddly than costly, I'd say. Heater matrix is a bit of a faff to do. But it's more like to be a fan or something caught in the fan, maybe dangling, or maybe a bearing's worn out. It could be many things. Too busy protesting. Oh, well, who's protesting? Are you driving that tractor around telling people they've got to pay more for fuel? Hopefully not. But of course, I like to do a little real live demo, don't I, during every session? And I haven't got one set up this week. So if there's anything you've seen before, guys, you want me to go through, maybe go through more detail. I've got the head off again here. I say got it off again, I haven't put it back on. So the head's over here with the valves. Don't really want to be touching it in a papaya hoodie though, really, do I? But I will happily show you about the valves and the damage, and I can show you the components I've taken off before if you want me to show you the damage caused when a timing belt lets go. So there you go. We'll talk about that most weeks. So there's a timing belt that's lost all the teeth. We can show you on the engine what the result of that timing belt going and failing does do to your car. We can talk about that. Good evening. Steve Chessum's on again. I know Steve Chessum's on this time. I read that as Steve Craddock then, but Steve Chessum. You also need to come to Ypres next year and join us and bring that white Mark 1. We're talking about what individual one-of-one cars were there. There wasn't a white one. So again, you would be one of one if you bring that car along, I'm sure. I don't think I've ever seen a white Mark 1 at the Ypres show. So we could have you along. Guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching as well, please make sure you've smashed that thumbs up button. So I know people are enjoying the content this evening. It's always good to know. So I spoke to so many people this weekend about different jobs they're doing or different projects they've got on, questions they had for me. So hopefully I answered many of those for you and was able to shed some light on some issues you may have. Again, so the car behaved faultlessly, if I'm perfectly honest. I've still definitely got that little bit. Randall Hammond, I'm not sure what that is, but that's a bit odd. But okay. But yeah, on the car, no problems other than the brakes are still causing a bit of a problem. Now they're not heating the wheel up like they were, but they're definitely causing a problem. I can hear catching going on. So only one Imlay Yellow there this year too. Couple of Vegas Mark 3s. Yes, there were. Are you worthy only yellow? You're right, Jeff. We normally have the guy that comes along. With the 225, doesn't he? He came along last year and parked next to you. We had that. I think is it Gio that has the car that's sort of like a bronzy yellowy colour that turned up quite late last year. I was speaking to him earlier on the show actually this time. So he said, "Oh yeah, I was here late last year." So I remember. So it's good to have you here at the start this year. So again, this year we had the show and shine. We also had the modified awards inside as well which was like an Audi showroom, it looked a little bit like, which was really good to see. And of course, the museum, if you've not been to Ypres before, Caddy Cars, where we hold this show, has a range of old classic cars, some really expensive cars in there as well. They all get driven. They're all immaculate as well. They're just amazing to look at. There's also a restoration centre across the road from Caddy Cars, which is owned by Thierry as well, Mistral Cars. If you go in there, you can see cars being restored. So there's lots of some supercars in there, but older sports cars from yesteryear, and they've got all their parts disassembled on like a workbench, and all the tools immaculately laid out. It's just, if you're into cars and you're into mechanics, you're into technology with regards to old school mechanics, you would love that, just to spend time walking around. And that's free to walk around and have a look at as well. Some great food trucks this year, a couple of burgers, might say, but they were very nice. But yeah, all good. But yeah, it's an amazing show, Claire. You absolutely love it. Hopefully, we can get your car ready to roll for next year and get you over there. I know it's a long way to go, but I think you'd enjoy it. And for Claire, obviously, if you want to come down for Springfest as well, you're more than welcome to join us. I know it's a long way from Bonnie, Scotland, but so there are people coming from Bonnie, Scotland this year, and there are people coming from Yorkshire as well. Andy Morton's coming down. I need to replace the cooling fan controller, but I couldn't get the battery tray out. 2 of the 4 screws are completely rusted and seized. Is this common? Yeah, I'd say it is. I think the best thing you can probably do is what I would do when I had the same problem, funny enough, on the breaker, is I drilled the heads off the screws so I could get the tray out. And then all you're going to have to do, you're just going to have to do some new pilot holes and put some self-tappers in, and that will solve your problems. Steve Cowell, I think, is your best way out of that. That's what I would do anyway. It just solves the issue of hours and hours of pain and trying to work it out. The €10 food wristband was an excellent idea. Yeah, that is great. Saves you having to get cash out as well. You go up to the desk and speak to Terry's wife. She'll sell you a wristband. €10. Happy days, and you can help yourself to burgers all day long. So it made me a €5 burger. I did have 2 burgers, but you can, under that, you get your chips, you get nuggets, you get lots of other things as well. So you could save yourself up for it and have a nice bit of food. Obviously, on our trip, we went to Ghent on the Wednesday evening. Stayed in Ghent, and that is a lovely city as well. It's very much like Bruges with the river, lots of riverside cafes and bars and bistros. And we went for a lovely meal. I met my friend Patrick. So Patrick Kaboot has got 5 Audi TT Mk1s in Belgium. He came along and joined us for dinner. It was great to catch. It's always great to catch up with Patrick and Isabel, because they are a lovely couple, some great cars, and had some great times to sit with those guys for the evening and talking about life in general, which is great to do. Again, these trips are just more than the car show. If you want to come and join us for the entire 5 days of the trip, which we did have, we had 14 people for dinner on Wednesday night, just with people that were on our trip with us, which was fantastic. I mean, you know, it's great to spend the time with you guys as well, talking about your cars and seeing the enjoyment you get out of the long weekend as well. It's really, really pleasing to see. We stayed in the monastery, bizarrely, on Wednesday night, which was quite unusual, but great fun still. And then, of course, on to Ypres. We had a great meal at Ypres on Friday night as well, because obviously we went out for dinner. We had dinner Thursday and Friday, but Friday night we ate at the Trumpet, and that is a great place to have your dinner. Took a while for them to get the food out. They could have done with a few more staff this year, if I'm perfectly honest. But it is what it is. It was a great chance. Everyone's sitting around. Everyone in the restaurant, 65 people, were TT people, and they're all sitting around chatting about their cars, talking about their experiences. It's just a brilliant, brilliant evening to have before you go on to the main event on Saturday. But, well, I've missed something quite important there. Roll the clock back to the Friday afternoon. And Maxim, who is local to Ypres, he is a really nice guy. He had arranged a cruise, a 2-hour cruise around the local area. And I turned up there at 2 o'clock to Tyne Cop to have a little bit of like the start of the drive around. And I was unsure if I was going to do the whole thing, because I wanted to get back to the hotel and welcome new people in as well. But when I got there, I expected to see maybe 3 or 4 cars. The car park at Tyne Cop was packed out with TTs. There were 30 cars there, I think, off the top of my head. And I filmed everyone leaving, and I had a good walk around and spoke to a few people. And that made me realise how good the show was going to be on Saturday, because that Friday afternoon was already busy with lots of great cars. So, yeah, highly, highly recommend come along. There's so much to do the whole weekend, you will not get bored. And, of course, if you do want to just take it a bit more chilled, you can. We stay at the Ariane Hotel, which I think is the best hotel in Ypres. I like it so much. I'm going to go back at the end of the year for a little bit of a weekend break. So I'm going to go back and just relax for the weekend, enjoy a Wipers, enjoy some great food, some great company, and yeah, just have a nice time, really. So I think I'm going to do that. After seeing your car bodywork last week, I'm on a mission watching all your rust videos now. Um, my body, in a good way, I think you mean my bodywork is it, and it is on the whole. The paintwork is lovely in places, but there are problems as well, Claire. And there is the seals are a problem on the driver's side at the back. There is a bit of a problem on that seal. I've got some bubbling that's appeared, which I'm going to address by replacing the seal, because unfortunately, once you've got rust on these panels, you really need to replace them. Because yeah, you can rub them down, you can treat them, and you can paint them, but that rust will come back. It's just part of it. So the best way to get rid of it, eliminate it, is actually replace the panel. So things like wheel arches and seals, great. The back, the rear quarter, I suppose you class it as the rear quarter. You can't really do anything about really. So that's a bit of a nightmare. My sill and door edges are at the key. Okay, yeah, that might be a bit of a problem. Now, I've also got some rust that I've noticed just on. Pick you up actually. Let's go for a little walk around the garage. I mean, the camera will follow me, but it won't give you a close up if I move around. So if I come around here, I wonder if we can see this. Oh, don't tread on that. Just trod on a rocker cover. That's never good, is it? Right, so if I come here, it follows my face. Yeah, there you go. So if we get the camera, we bring it over like this. And I come down here, right here on this edge. It's really bubbly. Now, not the glass, because what happens with the glass is the glass tends to delaminate up the edge here. And it's not going to cause too much of a problem. It can start to leak depending on how much it delaminates, but it's just a bit unsightly. Now, this is not an original windscreen, so I'm not too precious about it. But some people I know, they do want to replace the windscreen. But again, the windscreen's fine, but it has got some bubbling up the inside edge of the screen there. An unusual place for it to go. And all I can think of is when it's been, the screen's been removed, someone's been a bit heavy-handed with the tool and damaged it a little bit. So yeah, maybe that's a problem. So I think yours is going probably a bit here, Claire. Around here probably is at the back of the. Now, if you've got wheel arch bubbling at the back here, then that's a little bit more of a concern, because obviously that is not structural, but it's obviously you can't really cut that out of the car and replace it. The seals, again, I don't know if I can. I'll bring you over and see if we can. We'll lower the camera down. I'll put my, and then we'll see if we can do that. So just bear me a minute, guys, while I just lower you down to the car, down to here, and hopefully, if the camera follows me down here, I need to get the camera to follow. Can you follow me down here, please, camera? No, that's up. There we go. There we go. So down here, I still don't think you can see it, but there's definitely bubbling on this wheel arch here. Not wheel arch, on this sill. Now it runs where that rust is right below that rear quarter. So my worry would be that that could easily transfer across. So it's important to get these seals changed and done as soon as possible, and don't let that rub too much. Don't let that rust eat into the car. Richard said it's a standard place, and the same around the back. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting one, because I didn't realise when I spoke to Jeff about it, we hadn't really seen that before. So interesting that you've seen it, and that's a common place. Good bit of information there from Richard. So I'd always recommend if you get stuck on stuff, ask Richard about stuff, because he knows his apples when it comes to the car. I'm just going to put the stand up again like that. It's going to bring the light forward a little bit so you can see me a little bit. Hopefully. There you go. There you go. It's following me again now. So, guys, obviously, thanks to all of you checking out to go to sleep. Okay, no what, Rob, no worries. PM local time here, 9:20 PM. See you next time. Thanks, Rob, for jumping on, buddy. Outside the seals is actually always the best bit, as they rot from the inside. Oh, that's never good then, is it? That means I've probably got more problems hiding underneath. Now, I have got the subframes to do on the car at some point as well. But we've spoken previously about doing the fuel filter on this car, which obviously I'm going to do on the Roadster, and I'm going to do a video on how to change a fuel filter. That's going to be coming up over the next few weeks, as well as This beautiful car behind me will be taking a bit of a second place over the summer because I am going to be working on the Roadster, working on Roadster specific jobs as well, because I need to get that 100% right for us doing our 2,500 mile road trip we're going to do around France, Italy, Switzerland, Germany, France, and home that we're doing for our wedding anniversary. So that's going to be an amazing trip that we've got coming up towards the end of, well, middle of June. So I haven't got long to get it ready, so that's going to be a focus for me. I needed the glass at the back window Roadster. I can, yeah, water coming in. Next job after my power station, so much to do. Only Claire, I can't recommend you get that rear window sorted ASAP, because if you don't get the rear window sorted, it will let water into your roof void, which will then in turn water will get into the roof void, into the CCM void, and at that point you'll start getting trouble with electric gremlins into your car. So because people say, oh, the roof drains need unblocking, the roof drains have failed. So 9 times out of 10, it's not the roof drains causing the problem. The problem is the rear window seal fails and water just comes in through the rear window and drips straight onto the back tray. Even if it's just seeping through a little bit, it'll drip onto the rear void. And of course, water doing what water does with gravity will go to its lowest point onto the CCM and cause it to have problems. So again, something to think about is have one of these in your roads. If you've got one which is like a moisture absorption bag, I would have these in my CCM void. So if there any water does get in there, this is sucking it out. Keep it away from the CCM itself, but this would absorb the water from it. And then just lift it out once a week, stick it in the microwave, 2 minutes, dry it out. That little blue circle that's there will be pink if it's full of water, and it just goes blue again, back in the Roadster, and that will solve your moisture problems. It's also worth having them in the car if you don't use the car over the winter, or maybe you use it sporadically in the garage. You end up with a furry steering wheel because of the fungus and the mold and stuff. This will stop that as well. So have one of these in the car, somewhere in the car, and this will suck the moisture up and it will stop that happening. Great gadgets they are. But of course, last week, as always, running out of time. Didn't have an awful lot of time to prepare on Tuesday night to get ready to go into Ypres. So what would I take? I'm going to talk about some of the things you take on a road trip. I've got one coming up. But of course, I was in a panic because I also lost all the cards out of my wallet. I had no cards to take, lost my driving license, in a bit of a panic. So that was my focus for the evening. So, of course, getting in the car to drive off on Wednesday morning, didn't have any of my spares with me. So what spares would I take on a road trip? Probably one of the most important ones is always to have a spare coil pack with you, because more often than not, these fail singularly. So while you may have 4 or 6 of these, depending what engine you've got. So if you've got a V6, 3.2 V6, this is your 3.2 V6 coil pack. And the difference between this and the Roadster, the 225 one is, 1.8 T one is rather, is that this has the plug that goes in the top of this coil pack, and a 1.8 turbo car will have this one that goes in from the side. So that's your main difference. Now, if you have got an older an engine, is it the like the APX, I think, or the AQU engine? The older style coil packs are bolted into the rocker cover, so you need to also have a screwdriver or tool to remove that as well. These are the pull-off ones that fit on the BAM, so they're nice and easy to pull on and off on the engine block. But having a spare one of these will get you out of trouble. This is a 3.2 V6 one. Again, you need a special tool that clips underneath it, pulls it out. Now, if you've got one with you and you have a suspected failure, you can test which one is at fault by unplugging each of the coil packs in turn, and you will know you found the right one when the revs don't drop. So if you unplug it, it means you're running on 3 cylinders, so the engine revs will drop down as it starts labouring, the engine will labour. When you unplug it and it doesn't change pitch, you've found the one that's at fault. So that's probably the best tip I can give you. That's a V6 one again. That is the 1.8 turbo one. Definitely worth having one with you, because if you do lose one and you've got a spare in the car, you can get yourself back up and running and no problems. Definitely worth taking one of those. They're a nice, easy fix. You can do it roadside. They take up little space in your car. I'd highly recommend that. I'd also recommend taking a math with you as well. So here is a math. So this can cause problems as well. They can go bad. There is a math. You can pick those up second hand for about 30 or 40 pounds. That can go bad, cause all sorts of problems, but having a spare one of those with you on a long road trip could get you out of trouble. The next thing probably to talk about on a road trip, particularly European road trip, is the things you should have with you. So you want to have a European road trip emergency case. So I've got one in the boot of this car, and it has like a first aid kit. It has the yellow high-vis jackets. It has a breathalyzer kit, which you need for it being in Europe. It has lots of other bits that go with it as well, like the warning triangle, all those sort of things. Worth having in the car, essential to have in the car. I think you have to carry by law, but I also carry a fire extinguisher because the last thing you want is a fire in the car and then not be able to extinguish it and lose the car, right? So definitely worth having one of those. But also, depending what car you are taking, it may or may not have a spare wheel. Now, if you have a spare wheel in the car, if you've got a roadster like this, no, this isn't the roadster, but my roadster has got a space saver spare wheel. Pretty important to have one on that. So, of course, because of that, you'll need a jack and a wheel brace to remove it at the side of the road if you do have one. I would recommend having that. And if you're going on a long road trip, I would recommend one of two things. Firstly, take a spare wheel if your vehicle doesn't have one, because it's better to have one and change it than to be stuck at the side of the road without one. Alternatively, if you are going to chance it and you are going to go without a spare wheel and take a vehicle that has the tyre fluid that pumps into the tyre and seals punctures, make sure you check the date on that and make sure it's within date. So they look like this. I've got a Ford one right here. I haven't got an Audi one. So this is what goes in your toolkit in the boot. So this, when you pump the tyre up, this screws into the pump and it pumps the fluid into the tyre and it seals any punctures. Now, what these have on it somewhere, I'm trying to find the one on this. It will have, oh, there you go. It's got like a little hourglass there, and it says this has got to be used by 12/24. So this is 2 years, well, not quite, 18 months out of date, this pile of fluid. The last thing you want is fluid that's out of date so you can't seal your tyre. So check this in your car if you haven't got access to a spare wheel and make sure at least this is in date. If it's not in date, get yourself along to an Audi dealership and tell you what you want. Yeah. Lucky you have found cards, Andy, after having some brain food. Yeah, Jeff, yeah. Yes, I did, didn't I? I sit in the restaurant on Thursday night, and the cards that I thought I'd complete, was it Thursday or Friday? No, Friday night. No, Saturday night. Saturday night's meal, sitting there, and the wallet I'd gone through a million times. I suddenly found my driving license and all my cards in like a secret compartment. Hadn't stopped me spending money all week because I've been using my phone to that point, but it did at least allow me the luxury that I didn't have to worry about getting a new driving license, which was good. Guys, if you've got any questions for me, stick them in the chat. Yeah, I saved my CCM last week. It's in a bag. Roof drain's done. Yeah, roof drains aren't normally a problem. I took coil packs, spark plugs, oil and coolant, plus tools and OBD reader. Yeah, no room for luggage. No. So that's the thing. So I'd also recommend that is taking an OBD reader as well, because if you've got an engine management light with these readers, these code readers, you can normally plug one in. The plug is just under the dash, under your I suppose your right knee underneath the dash by the door. Plug it in an OBD reader, give the car a scan and wipe any codes, because it could go into limp mode. If you wipe the code and they don't come back, your car will be fine. You can drive on a bit further, hopefully. If you scan the car and it does come back and it's something you need to get resolved, the thing is, the engine management light normally is yellow. So it means it's a warning, get it looked at. And that's what you must do. Don't just drive on willy-nilly, get it looked at. But if you get those red warnings on the dash, so on the little LCD screen, you get the little red panel at the top. If you get things there, you must stop the car immediately and get it looked at. And one of the classics of that is obviously the red oil can light that pops up. We'll talk about that in a sec. So the red oil can light means you've got low oil pressure. Not low oil in the car, but low oil pressure. Now, what could be causing your low oil pressure? Hopefully, it's just the sensor. Now, if it's the sensor, then it means your engine is fine. but don't chance it. The red warning light means turn the car off and get yourself relayed home, get it towed back home without going any further. I wouldn't chance it because if you've got low oil pressure, you can end up seizing your engine. So get it sorted. Now, if it's a sensor, oil pressure sensor, I've got a video of that on my channel on how to fix or replace it on the 3.2, and it's probably one of the worst jobs I've done on the car. So if you have got that problem with your car, if you've got a problem with your 3.2, need the oil pressure sensor doing, I'd take it to the garage and pay the money because it is a pig of a job to get to. And that's me saying it, and I'm happy to work on my car. But if it's not a sensor problem and you do potentially have low oil pressure, normally that's down to, if you've got a 1.8T engine, he's reaching for more gadgets. I'm going to pick it up behind my wipers. Is this little gadget right here. Now, this is the oil pickup pipe, and this sits in your oil sump. There's a video on my channel all about the oil pickup pipe for beginners. Essentially, this sucks oil up from your sump, sends it off to the oil pump to send around your engine and keep your engine lubricated. And what happens is this little filter on the end here that sucks the oil up, that gets blocked up with all the nonsense that ends up in your oil, maybe bits of old rubber pipe that have fallen off, bits of your dipstick. He says he removes the dipstick. There's the dipstick off the 1.8T. This bit here tends to start breaking down and ending up in your oil. So that is not good for anyone's oil. And of course, this little sieve that's sucking it all up ends up sucking it up into there, blocking it up, starves the engine of oil. So the first thing you will see is that red oil warning light come on, the red oil can saying low pressure. So you will get your dipstick and you'll pull it out and you'll go, oh, I've got plenty of oil in my car. Can't be an oil problem. I'll just carry on driving. But really, yes, you have a lot of oil in the car in your sump still because this is unable to suck the oil out the sump. So this part is about £40, and you can buy this as a kit from Cloud9 Customs do it, and it comes with an O-ring as well and a new gasket to go round, so fitting this in the engine. So the little rubber gasket is to go around the oil return pipe, not this part, but another part of the car. But yeah, so I'd highly recommend getting this done. There's a simple guide on how to do it. You can also get a tube of gasket sealant around for the sump. Follow my guide, check out the cardboard gadget I use to store where all the bolts go. I had some really, really good feedback over the weekend from one of the people that was on the trip. So Lee and Vanessa. Lee did say that he followed my guide and it was nice and simple to do. And it's allowed him to change this pipe, which is great to hear. So my guide does work for people. And of course, for £40, you could save your engine. So definitely worth checking. Claire's put, yeah, mine is a red triangle in a red circle. A red triangle in a red circle. Is that not the a yellow symbol, Claire? And it's the ABS sign symbol, I think, on that one. Has anyone mistaken you for the actor Donald Sutherland? Big Bad Dom. I can't say anyone's mistaken me for Donald Sutherland because Donald Sutherland is about 90 years old, is he not? Do I look that old? Maybe I do. Right, so I'm just scrolling back. Yeah, Claire's already done the pickup pipe. Stephen, silly question. Would engine flushing the oil help clean the pickup pipe? Sorry, guys, I've missed loads of questions back here. Stephen Harper's got a video on the oil sensor. Yeah, so if you've got a 1.8 oil sensor problem, check out Stephen's video. So Stephen Harper VW, highly recommend checking out Stephen's content. He is a fellow Mark 1 YouTuber based in Ireland. Please check out his videos. He's got some great how-tos on how to fix things. So check out Stephen's video on that. Silly question, would an engine flush in the oil help clean pickup pipe? I don't know how effective that will be because the oil flush is only going to flush oil. It's only going to work on breaking oil deposits down. Now, if you've got silicon pipe, bits of plastic in there, it's not going to, because what tends to happen on the, it's going back to the oil pickup pipe on the sieve, what it's doing, because the suction power, it's normally sucked all the little bits in to the little gauze in there. It's sucked. Oh no, the camera's lost me. You've lost me. You found me again. There you go. You found me. So because of that in there, the suction has sucked all the bits up. It's very unlikely you're going to ever get those bits back out of it, particularly not through running something that's also sucking it the same way, if that makes sense. Breaking down all deposits in the engine, absolutely. Unblocking that, I don't think so. That's just my thoughts there, Stephen, but it might be wrong. I've got a pickup pipe ready to go in. Great, Claire, that's good to know. Paul Hutchinson, evening all. Sorry I'm late and missed a load. That's all right, Paul. You're here now. That's the important thing. Yeah, exactly. Richard said the same thing about the pickup pipe. Important. The red triangle with the exclamation mark is the major warning symbol. There you go, Richard. There you go. Look, that's something I've learned tonight. So who was having that? Was that Claire, was it? How often should you change the pickup pipe? I don't know people that have done it more than once, I have to say. But it's something, if you were doing, I don't know, if you were doing maybe 50,000 miles, in a car, I don't think it would hurt to unbolt the pickup pipe, unbolt the sump and have a look and see if it's okay. Probably a good thing to do. It's probably better to do it before you start getting warnings, I would expect. That would be my advice on it. But yeah, so I think maybe every 50,000 miles, have a look at it, unbolt the sump and have a look. Some people could leave it on there and never have to do it. If you've had regular oil changes, your pipes are all good, you haven't broken a dipstick, it should be all good. But a great example is the engine I've got right here. And really, I need a black hoodie on to do what I'm going to do, because I want to take this apart. I have to be really careful with the yellow hoodie. So what I have right here, come around the back of it, is the 1.8T engine right here. In fact, I'm just going to put the camera down by 1 notch, so that might pick me up better then. So if I put that down there, I'm also going to put some light on the subject as well over there. I'll turn you around, and then hopefully, there you go, you've got more of the engine in now. Right, so here is the cylinder head. And if you can see in the cylinder head, if I put my finger in here, like that, and you see all those like little bits of burnt oil in there. So essentially what's happened on this particular engine, without touching it, get too close to the yellow hoodie, is the burnt on oil down to poor servicing of the engine, probably infrequent oil changes. It's got so many burnt on oil components. I would imagine what's happened, the car has run low on oil at times, and because of that, the thickness of the oil, so the viscosity of it gets less, so it's pumping almost like treacle around the oil of the engine. Old engine oil will also be full of deposits, and they burn onto the cylinder block. So things like the valves and the hydraulic lifters, the back of the engine, you can see at the back of the cylinder head, it's got some really burnt on oil just ingrained into the metal. If I just do that in there, I mean, I can feel all, it's just all horrible bits that it's not nice oil that's on there. But what's really telling on this, and I'm going to lift off the cylinder head, put it on the floor, and then that will give you a good insight into what happens to infrequent oil changes and the damage it causes to the pistons. So, put over here. Okay, so that's the cylinder head on the floor. So right here, I have got the pistons. In fact, I'm going to do this, and hopefully it will lose me, which will be fine, because what I want to do right now for this stage, I'm just going to turn this round wrong way, and there we go. We can see the 4 tops of the piston heads right there, yeah, and you can see right here this shiny bit on these piston heads. Yeah, you can see the shiny bit, and that's where the valves have essentially come into contact with this, because the engine has lost its, well, the timing's caused a problem. But all of this black you can see here is just burnt on deposits inside the boards. Can you see that, how bad that is? So all these piston heads, if I turn the piston heads around as well, so if I can just turn this around, it's going to try and find me now, isn't it? Because it's seen my face. Right, I don't want to do that. This is the thing with these gimbals. They're great if you want to show people your face, but if you want to show them your engine components, not so good. So essentially, this engine has these cylinders, the pistons on the top, has had a real problem. It's probably the best way to describe it. But if I come down here, will it do it? Hopefully you can see how bad these are, and you can see the shiny bit where the valves contact it. Now, these piston heads should not be black like this. If I rub my finger over it, that's all burnt on oil deposits right there. So that's where the oil has run so low in this engine. It's caused a problem. So your engine shouldn't look like that. Now, that's the sort of thing Stephen mentioned earlier about maybe you know, doing an oil flush. Don't think that's going to make a difference. Adding things like Red X to your fuel to give a nice clean burn, that will also probably shift some deposits. But my worry about shifting deposits in that way and loosening stuff off is it could then end up in your oil, depending on where it's loosening it up. It could end up working its way through somewhere, blocking up oil reservoirs, blocking up your pipe, your oil pickup pipe, which could cause more problems. So sometimes it's better to leave them in situ and not do that cleanup process. I mean, people do things with cylinder heads and with like walnut blast and that sort of thing to get rid of all those deposits. Something you could do, but these are pretty shot. This is so burnt and horrible on here. I'm yet to take the actual piston heads off and look at the rods as well to see how bad that could be. But that is a great example of why you should be making sure you keep doing oil changes regularly, keep up the maintenance of your car, because it could end up like this. Guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching, then please give it a thumbs up as well if this is all helping you. Hopefully it is. It's going to spin you around like that. Oh, camera's lost me now. I'm going to spin it back around so it finds me. There we go. Back to where it was. So yes, if you've got any more questions, Claire, you should absolutely stop driving the car and have it scanned. You're absolutely right. Which is spot on there. Okay, we'll do first light. Thanks. I need to check the symbol. My memory's bad. Okay. Yeah, hopefully you'll get that sorted out. A lot of things that can go on with the car that could be a problem. So definitely, oh, if I've got oil on the top, I think I've got some oil on the top. What is the chances? I have to get the old stain devil out, and but yeah, any more questions for me, guys, please put it in the chat so I can help answer it if you've got anything for me. I think we've talked about quite a few things already, haven't we? We talked about the oil pickup pipe as always, which seems to be a popular one with this. I also saw at the weekend, I saw Andrew, Swiss jet pilot. If you see him walking around, he's got a Mark II 3.2 V6, and he's the guy that came up with the solution for fixing the PCV diaphragm on the 3.2 V6 with that tow reg diaphragm on the outside of a 3.6 V6 car that does sort the problem out. He showed me another quite interesting fix on Saturday for trickle charging the car. So, but it's for the Mark II, unfortunately. But if there are any Mark II people out there, what Andrew has done is he's actually taken a C-Tech trickle charger, installed it to the car, and then he's hidden the connector behind the tow eye hole on the rear bumper. And then all he does when he needs to charge the car is he parks the car in the garage. He takes that tow eye cover off, pokes the little C-Tech charge through, plugs it in, and he charges the car, and it's a nice easy fix. He explained to me how he'd run the pipe work and the electrical connectors through the various there's a grommet in the bulkhead in the boot where he could do it as well. So it sounds like a really good fix. Unfortunately for the 3.2 on the Mark 1, we don't have that towing eye hole to hide things through, so that's probably not the way. And I still think the way to set up the charging functionality on the 3.2 is to deliver it somewhere through the front engine bay. So I'm going to come up with a solution that will allow me to jump start the car and trickle charge it from the battery tray on the front, because obviously there's no battery there. The battery's in the boot, but we need to connect that up somehow. So I'm going to do a video on connecting the battery tray up from the front here. Guys, if you were there on Saturday, I'm going to ask the question again, what was your favourite car that you saw on Saturday? Why don't you let me know in the chat? Be interested to know what your favourite car was and what you've seen on the pictures. So if you weren't there and you've seen some pictures, what was your favourite car you saw? Did you figure out how I can close the 3mm on my roof struts above the midpoint of the driver's window? I think, Claire, from that, I think your roof has been off at some point, is my thoughts behind it. And I think that what's happened is if you don't have the roof perfectly aligned and when it's done back up, is you can end up doing it up too short almost for the adjustment. So you might need to it's a bit of a job. You might need to undo that roof from the roof void and do a bit of adjustment from that perspective to get it done. Yeah, there you go. So it's probably never been put on correctly. I'd say is what's happened. Richard George has put, Richard Rendell's put his hand up. Hi, Richard. How are you? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hi, Jack. How are you as well, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Hope things are all good in your camp and you are. I think you might be making a few YouTubes of your own, I think, from what your dad told me today, but it'd be interesting to see those. Let me know what you're doing. But again, the car needs to be emptied. And again, just going back to the stuff that we were provided at the weekend, we were given 20 rucksacks. We were given 20 brollies. We were given 20 boot tidies and 20 de-icing kits by Audi. The dealership in Ypres gave us 20 of these to use as prizes and giveaways. I am lucky enough to have one of those genuine Audi rucksacks right here. And this is going to be our prize to give away at Springfest this year. So the best car at Springfest is going to win this genuine Audi rucksack right here. Look at that, embroidered. So if you want to be in the chance of winning this at Springfest, you know what you need to do. But I haven't just got one of these rucksacks. I've actually got a second rucksack. Now, what am I going to do with that? Well, I thought I'd have a second giveaway on the channel, okay? So this is my plan. I am going to, at this weekend, release the video for the International TT show free. So the video will be up this weekend. It's going to be a deep dive into what I saw, the cars that were there, the people that were there. It's going to be talking all about the different things that we saw during the day and the build up to the day. And what I'm going to ask you to do is when you've watched the video, I want you to leave a comment on the video telling me what your favourite car in the video was that you saw, and also share my video somewhere on social media. So if you go to Facebook, put a link up to my video. If you do it on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you're on even YouTube yourself, Twitter, X, wherever you are, put a link up to my video and tell people to watch the video. And everybody that does that will be eligible to win the rucksack. You must also be a channel subscriber. You don't have to be a member, but you can be a subscriber to win one of these rucksacks. So if you want to be in with a chance to win it, watch my video this weekend and you'll be in chance with winning one of these rucksacks. Leave a comment, share it on social media, and make sure you're subscribed to the Andycharger channel. Can't say fairer than that. I liked the black modified Mk1 next to me who won second place. Yeah, so that guy is called Stanced, Audi TT Mk1 Stanced. He's on Instagram. He's on Air Ride. It's on the floor, that car. The paintwork looks amazing. Under the engine bay, it's polished to within an inch of its life. The owner's a really good guy as well. I did go up to him and said to him on Saturday that I thought he had a really nice car. Now, I didn't get to vote on Saturday on purpose. I did say to Simon and Frank, who decided on the winners, that I was not taking part in the vote because half the people in the room, it felt like, in the show and shine, were channel members. And I don't want any animosity or favouritism amongst members. So I abstained from any voting to prevent upsetting people. So guys, if you were in there and you won, or if you're in there and you didn't win, it's not down to me. But again, and of course, the prize we're giving away on the channel next week won't also be down to me. It's down to you to get your comments on the video and get yourself eligible, and we will pick one at random. I'm going to use a random winner generator online. So I'll maybe do a little bit of a live on that and show people who win it, and I will get you that rucksack. So I'm looking forward to running that. I can't wait for Springfest. That's the next big thing for me. For those of you that are looking for shows to go to, there is a Kent meet coming up on Saturday, the 26th of April. So a week on Sunday. It starts at 9 a.m. I believe at Rochester Cineworld in the car park behind the Cineworld. There's normally about 20 cars that turn up, 20 to 30 cars. I will be there. I'm not sure if I'll be in this or the roadster, but I will be there. Be great to see many of you if you can make it on the day. It'd be great to have you along and catch up with you and your cars. But that will be the next time you'll catch me at a show. And then, of course, the next one after that for me will be Sunday, the 31st of May, Springfest, right here in the garden. So again, if you want to be at Springfest, you need to get in touch with me at the channel. Email address is Andy_charger@hotmail.com. So that's Andy_charger@hotmail.com. Drop me an email, tell me what you're coming in, and I will send you the details back of getting here. I need to make it invitation only, guys. So only attend if I have responded to you and said, yeah, that's fine, because I know people have been in previous years and I can't just have people turning up because I can only get 40 cars in. The good news for those of you that can't make it on Sunday the 31st of May is there will be a second Springfest held in August. So there will be a Sunday in August, the date to be revealed, but there will be a second Springfest in August if you can't make it. A few people can't make that date on Sunday the 31st of May, so there will be a second holding. Got the Monroe G1236 shocks coming from watching your vid, Andy. Good, yeah, they do a great job, Richard. Personally now, I think if I had my option of what I'd put on the car, I'd do shocks and springs, because I think the springs are not great on this car. And of course, the item that I would look to do, I think, is go towards Bilstein. That would be my preference of where I would go for installing suspension. Unfortunately, the OEM equivalent suspension on the car is no longer available. I have rung around trying to get the parts, but the springs you can't get hold of, and the shocks you can't get hold of the back anyway. I know there's a few sets of the front ones knocking around. I know some people in here have probably got some, and it would be nice to replace the suspension on this car, but I think I'm going to be out of luck. So I'm going to look at what my options are. I might have to go a bit harder maybe and go for like something like a B14 or something like that. But we'll see what happens, I guess, and see what comes up. But again, if you've got any questions, chuck it in the chat, guys. If you're enjoying what you're watching, then give it a thumbs up. I know there's quite a few members on tonight chatting away. If you're not a member of the channel and you want to become a member of the channel, then you can click the join link below, guys, as well. And by becoming a channel member, you become part of my sort of clandestine inner circle of people. We've got a really great contingent of members now that support the channel. And of course, if you feel you want to encourage other members to join, you can gift memberships. People have done that as well to get people involved. You also get a discount on merchandise if you want to become a member. So there's quite a few good features. I do try and get some member-only content out and do early releases of my content to members only. We put the video out last week, which came out on Wednesday. I actually launched that video last Tuesday night, which was, why did Audi put the V6 in the Audi TT Mark 1 in the first place? What was the reasoning behind Audi doing that? Were they too late to the market, and why they also left the market quite quickly later on in the decade when they were finding the market forces were changing? It's quite a good video. It's quite a good insight into why Audi put it in there in the first place. So if you've not checked out that video yet, I would highly recommend you do so. Let me know what you think about it as well. You know, these videos are all about you giving me feedback. So if you find a video that you don't agree with, or a video that you think is quite useful, then let me know. Put a comment up, give it a like as well, because that helps me know that you're enjoying it. So find the ones you like and give it a thumbs up. Saw the B14 kit for £900 front and back. Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it, to do it, but maybe worth doing. I'm so glad I found your channel. I've been driving on a wing and a prayer for too long, no more. Thank you, Claire. I'm glad. That's always great to get feedback and comments like that. It's great to know that I'm helping you guys out and that you are finding new ways of doing things. and I'm helping you keep these cars alive and on the road for a bit longer. So again, if you're enjoying what I do, then definitely look at becoming a channel member and supporting me here at the channel. But you don't have to; it's not compulsory. But if you would like to become a subscriber to the channel, you can subscribe as well and give this video a like also, because that also helps get it out to more people. I've already got a long list of jobs to do on my new Mk1 3.2 shocks, bigger brakes, etc., etc. But I'm not doing anything apart from wash it before I come to Springfest, because I want people's honest feedback. I reckon that's going to be opinion on it. Don't worry, I'm thick-skinned. I want brutal opinions. You will get those, Paul, depending where you go. But I don't think, you know, I will be happy to give my opinion. I'm not going to be one of these people that tells people how bad the car is. There's a lot of people in the scene that are quite overly critical, I think, is probably of people's cars. Because what you've got to remember, and what people should remember, is everyone out there that's got a car, that car is normally their pride and joy. And if you go out there and say it's not very, I'm not going to swear on my live feed, but you know, I'm not going to say that people should give opinions in that way and say how bad someone's car is, because that's quite offensive and it doesn't solve a situation. What you need to do is you need to explain to people how they can improve it, maybe not tell them how they've got to do it. Don't force your opinion on people, but just comment and say, if you were looking to do something, these are your options. You know, pass on the feedback. I don't ever like to think that I dictate on my videos, and it's just a case of that I can help pass a pass comment of what people can do to keep the cars on the road. It's more the important stuff they may need doing. Yeah, Paul, when you bring the car here, I mean, if there are things you want to do, because we've got the tools here, we can scan the car for error codes. We can give it a deep scan and make sure there's no problems with it. We can check those troublesome chains that people talk about. By the time you get here, you will have the car nicely warmed up. So a great opportunity to give those chains a read and a check. So we can do that sort of thing. You know, we can look at those potential problems. And people that have got, you know, we can listen for the wear and tear as well. Give it a thought. You know, we can do that. Email sent regarding Springfest. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, buddy. I've definitely got you down. The TT community is supportive and very friendly. Can't see anyone picking a car apart. Oh, I can, Steve, but that's another story. But there are people that tend to do that and also force their opinion on people, which I don't think is always good. Maybe I see the good and the bad maybe in the community, but I do think it's a fantastic scene we have, particularly here in the UK. It's always interesting to go to Europe and see the different cars we have over there as well, because some of those cars over there are just absolutely top drawer, and the colours are very different in Europe. I think they're very, very muted colours. There's a lot of greys and blacks and silvers and those what are classed as traditional colours. But there are also not the usual Imola yellows, papayas. You know, the Java greens. You know, there's not many of those type of cotton. There's not many of those over here, is there really? But you don't really see those cars as much. And I think they do turn a few heads and catch a few eyes. The Merlin Purple, you know, there was only one there on Saturday, which was obviously Andy Mortimer's car, so great to have that along, and that got a lot of good feedback from people. I thought a lot of people said, "Oh, that Merlin car's wonderful." Yeah, Steve and Steve have spotted each other. There you go. So, guys, French last in, first out on Saturday. Yeah, they were. So, there's a really big contingent of French cars that normally arrive together on at International TT show, and they tend to arrive a bit later. I guess they've driven up on the morning, and they may come up from elsewhere in France. So obviously it's a big country and a lot of the country to drive around. So yeah, the scan doesn't recognise my roof since I changed it. I think that's where a lot of my leak problems started. Yeah, well, if you come down here, Claire, if you do get down here at some point, we can give it a good old thorough going over and give it scanned and give it the once over from a health check perspective anyway. Still saying that Steve and Steve are still saying their good evenings. I suppose you two guys, are you coming to the Kent meet a week on Sunday? Because I will be there. So Steve and Steve, I don't know if you're coming. And is anyone else in the chat tonight? Are you coming to the Kent meet a week on Sunday. Let me know in the chat if you're coming. It'd be good to know that you're going to be there, and obviously we can catch up and talk about your cars in more detail if you would like. Let me know. Wait for comments. Oh, there's more Stevens in here. Do you know what? At the weekend, it was all Andys. There were Andys everywhere. I think everyone was called Andy, which is not a problem. I think we're all of a certain age, most of us, aren't we? So we've all got the same name. I think our parents weren't very original, maybe. Hopefully, hopefully, yes. Not at least until August. Okay. Is it the same place, Andy? I haven't seen anything on it. Is it at the same place? What, the meet, the Kent meet? Yes, it's in the Kent meet on a week on Sunday, Sunday the 26th of April, is being held at the City World in Rochester. And I want to say the postcode is something like ME2 2HH, something like that. I think you have to Google the Rochester Cineworld. It's the car park at the rear of Rochester Cineworld. We gather. It's normally from 9 o'clock onwards. The meeting Kent, yeah, it's there. Yeah, under the M2 viaduct. That's it. You know it. That's exactly where it's going to be. So hopefully I'll see many of you at that. Again, I'm not sure if I'm bringing the Roadster or if I'm bringing this car. This one definitely gets more talking points than the Roadster because everyone's got a Roadster, it feels like. But the Roadster needs a bit of a run out, I think. So I'm also got a video I'm probably going to be doing at the moment. I'm trying to track down a baseball interior for the Roadster. Now, I had a chat on the weekend with a couple of people that were there that have one, and they're also looking to do like a swap with a standard interior to go in the car and some money for the interior. So I think I might be buying a baseball stitch interior to go in the Roadster. Now, you know, I don't like to modify cars, but I don't see that as a modification because it is part of the Audi TT Mark 1 lineup. It's just a case of changing it from a different colour. So I might be doing that. Might have to come in Ecto 3. I presume that's the Ecto 3. Ecto 3. Is that your Escort or is that a hearse? Not sure what it could be. Ecto 3 is Ghostbusters, isn't it? Or is it Ecto 1? Not sure. Not sure if you're coming in a hearse because of the job. But my builder has let me down again. Oh no, not good. What was that? Cool. I'll be there as it's just before go on holiday. Oh, nice. You're off on holiday. Lucky old you. I wish I was going. XO3, my T6. Oh, okay. Hello, Emir. Buddy, we caught up on Saturday at the show. You'd come all the way from Bulgaria, I believe. I think that was pretty much a long journey for you, from like 30 hours driving. Amazing effort to come through. I know yourself and Felix that had come from Norway must be the two longest travellers on the day. So amazing work to get there. Yeah, Ghostbusters. What I was thinking. Yeah, we're definitely the same sort of age, Steve. I think is the trouble. We all think the same things. But yeah, we had say on the cars that were there. I think we had 8 different nationality vehicles there on Saturday from people from all over Europe. How good was that? There was a Bulgaria car, which I think was Emir's car. We had the Norwegian car, a Polish car, French cars, Belgian cars, Dutch cars, British cars, German cars. Sure, we had Luxembourg cars as well. What class? I don't. Steve, it's a TT, mate, not a death band, mate. Yeah, but that's fine. You can't come to Springfest and anything other than a TT though, unfortunately. But you can come to Joe's, mate. He won't mind. I don't know if I trust my LCD display. Half the things I can't even read, which is why I get all blurry. Claire, if you follow my video on taking your cluster out and then get it shipped off to Sean Blenko, he will replace that for you and send it back to you. Definitely worth doing. Get the LCD looked at. He also offers a service to get all the stepper motors in it looked at as well and get those refurbished and replaced. So definitely worth doing if you can do so. What are the symptoms of a bad PCV system? A blocked PCV system not just the hockey puck. What are the symptoms of a bad PCV system? Normally, well, engine management lights are normally about a great one. Poor running, unable to start, uneven running. You also get a little racing as well of the engine. I think the engine races as well, so the MAF struggles with it. You get a little residue in the oil pickup pipe, the turbo intake pipe and the tip. You start getting a build-up of oil in there because it's not filtering the oil out correctly. Lots of things. Poor running is normally the biggest one to think of. But guys, if you want to answer Steve's question there about why that might be. Jeff, chipping off now, Andy. Going to look at my wipers glass and reminisce about a wonderful week. Catch up soon, guys. Cheers, Jeff. Cheers to you. Have a wipers on me. Wipers times. I'm having a wipers time. I'm not having a wipers times. I'm having a Coca-Cola time. I'm in a wipers glass. Right. So I'm just going to go back in case I've missed anything. Yeah, thank you. It was a good meet. I even got to get a ride in the. Oh, brilliant! You won one of those rides. How cool was that? So, a guy that I know from playing ice hockey, he also got to experience that SLS AMG as well. I think it was a pretty cool ride. That I think that was a really, really good, a good prize. There was a Shelby there as well, a blue Shelby GT that people were having rides in. That is also a monster car. Sounds amazing. But for me, the car of the show from Thierry's collection in the museum, there's a lot of lovely cars in there. But one that really stands out for me is there's a Ligier car in there. I think because it's a JB3. And if you open the doors on that Ligier, because it's a mid-engine car and the engine's there, the odour is emanating, the smell, the fuel is almost like leaking out of it, and it is so strong. If you drove that car, I think you get a bit lightheaded, I think, on the fumes. But amazing car. Loved the show tonight. Thanks for everyone's advice and feedback. Always a pleasure, Claire. Always a pleasure to have you on. And thank you so much for your £10 donation as well. Donations are amazing and help keep the channel going. So thank you so much for donating tonight and supporting the channel with one of your super thanks. And guys, if anyone else wants to give me a super thanks tonight and give me a cup of tea, fill up my wipers glass, then you're more welcome to click the super thanks button below. So thank you very much all for being on. We're not finished yet though. We've still got plenty of time left. We've got loads of people on as well. Still things to get through, still things to talk about. But of course, we've got to do it for a fair while because we've got people that actually use this as a podcast the next day. So it gives them something to listen back to when they are working in their jobs. So it's always good to hear that sort of thing goes on. Again, we've talked about the wonderful prize that we had. But what was your favourite car? That those of you that were there on the weekend, what was your favourite car in the museum? And also, what are your thoughts on that Mistral cars? If you had to walk around there, be interested to know what you guys thought of that, because that was also a great place to walk around. Free to get in as well. That is always useful if it's free. I've got some things here that I probably will run past for my journey, my road trip I've got. So I've got one of these. I'm going to take, I've not fitted it yet, but I'm going to do a review for the channel as well. I've got a second one of these coming, a slightly less highly spec'd one. But this is it's made by DD and this is a Z90 Pro. These retail for about £400, and they are a three camera dash cam solution, a front camera, back camera, and also an internal camera as well. So you're monitoring all three. It also has a proximity alert for people that are approaching your vehicle, let's say. So this is a really good functional camera. It works with your iPhone as well. So we're going to install that, and we'll do a video installing that on the Roadster. So we've got a great dash cam to take to France. So really looking at doing that. We're talking about scanning cars. So this is the Arty Diag 500S. There's now a newer version that Top Dom sent me as well, which is the 600S. So I've got both of those. So this is the newer version of this gadget. you can still get this one as well. You can read chains, you can read all the various channels and see what your car is doing with this. So if people talk about doing chain readings, this is the gadget for you because it's much cheaper than VCDS. VCDS does a lot more though, and people will say it is really cool. And I think it is, but these are a nice cheap alternative to that as well. Oh, someone's just sent me a £5. Who was that? Stephen Credit. Thank you very much, Stephen, for sending me some money. That will allow me to fill my wipers glass up, won't it? But thank you very much, buddy. Always appreciate the support you guys give me, as always, helping me keep the channel going. So I really appreciate that, buddy. I look forward, Stephen, to seeing you at Springfest. Do you know what? If you can't, can you bring the escort down to the to Joe's show? Is that too far for it? I'd love to see the escort. I need to come up and see it up your way. If not, definitely need to come and see your escort. I never got to see Steve Chesham's escort before he sold it as well, which always really I wish I'd gone up and seen that because that would have been great to see that RS Turbo. Fave car was the Mark III Nardo Grey with the carbon seats. He had to hide the air ride. That's was it you telling me about that? So he's hidden it under the floor, isn't he, in the boot? He's actually got a false floor in the boot so the authorities don't see it. Mad that you can't have air ride. But that's obviously a local requirement. I think he'd been caught once and then been fined already. Important. Do you know if a boot Audi badge would fit on the engine bay cover of a Mark 1 3.2? I've lost mine. Now I think the 3.2 engine badge is bigger than the rear boot badge. I think off the top of my head, pretty sure it's much bigger on the engine bay. You can still buy those rings though off for the engine bay, so they are available. I lost mine on the test drive. I think I remember you saying about that. They flew off as part of the test drive. Not great. No, I don't think it's the same size. Stephen Harper, it's valve, mate. They don't cost. It doesn't much so easy just to replace. Yeah, they don't cost a lot. That's exactly right. So the cost of that of the hockey puck. Although I do a video on cleaning the hockey puck, I would actually recommend you just replace the hockey puck because it's a cheap part and an easy fix. So definitely replace it. That the Mark 1 Escort would be met. I'd love to see that. I'd love to go for a spin in that as well. I'd also like to do a video on that car, Steve, at some point. I know that's not really Audi TT Mk1 content, but I'm going to tell the story of the Ford Fiesta through its whole history and lineage as well on the channel. Now, it's not going to appeal to everyone, but I've actually got a lot of Ford Fiesta fans on the channel now. That's probably going to get people to turn off, I expect. But we've got 2 Ford Fiestas here, and we've owned 2 other versions of the Ford Fiesta over history. I owned a Mark III XR2i 16 valve, the 1.8 version, not the XR2i with the blue stripe. I had the one without the stripe, the much later one, the K-Reg one, which was superseded by the RS 1800i because it was essentially the same lump on it in the end. This did a bit more tweaking to it. And we also owned a Mark 5 or 6, 5, I think it was, when that was first released. First car we ever bought new, actually. Last car we ever bought new as well, I think so. But yeah, hey ho. Yeah. I look forward to seeing it. If we can see it, that'd be amazing. Rob to back, how are you doing, buddy? I've seen you sent me a message on Instagram as well. It popped up. Great to meet you on Saturday. Was really, really nice to meet you and your girlfriend and your dog as well. Lovely to meet you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks in Rouen. No, we're not going to Rouen. We're going to Dordrecht, aren't we, in a couple of weeks? I'm coming there to play ice hockey. You're coming to watch ice hockey and maybe have a drink of beer with me. And we are going to review your car while I'm there. We're going to film your car and review your car, in Dordrecht. At the ice rink, which is called Fanny Blankers, of all things. Always makes me chuckle. But it's the ice rink. It's called Fanny Blankers in Dordrecht. And we're staying at the Van der Valk Hotel, which is apparently one of the top 10 hotels in Holland. So I'm looking forward to that. It'd be great fun. We'll have a great day. All the guys that are coming are a great bunch of guys. Well, we'll have an absolute riot. You'll enjoy it. It'll be great fun. I'll be glad to do a video on the car. Stephen, we're going to do a video on your car. I owned Mark 1 XR2 and a Mark 2 back in the day. Paul Hutchinson, yeah, great cars. I never owned the Mark 1 or the Mark 2. So Mark 3 is where I got involved in that. But yeah, always loved those cars. I had my first car was a Mark 3 Escort, so I've got a passion for the Escorts as well. And my all-time favourite car, for those of you that know me, if I could have one car and own one car, it would be a Series 1 RS Turbo Mark 3. My favourite. Do you ever play against the Belfast Giants? No, because I don't play in the Elite League. That is a whole new level. I don't play league hockey. I'm too old, really, to be playing competitive. I play a lot of tournaments. So I play with a lot of ex-pros at the tournaments. A lot of people I looked up to in my younger days as my teammates, even, which is for me, is quite a big thing. But yeah, so the Belfast Giants play league hockey. Not for me. So I don't get to Ireland to play as such, Stephen. So the furthest I probably get that direction would probably be Telford, and in the south probably Cardiff. So I suppose I could drive on a bit further and catch the Rosslare ferry. Britain has the coolest cars. Kenneth, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, we do have some great cars here in the UK. So we had someone come from Norway at the weekend. We had Felix come and join us from Norway, Kenneth, so that you can definitely get yourself over to one of our shows in the future. Mark Stanley's mate now has my RS Turbo. Okay. Oh, Mark Stanley's mate now has your RS Turbo. Yeah, that's a Mark. You had a Series 2, though, haven't you? You had a Series 2. How do you find order the merch and products? Claire Burke, if you want to order my hoodies, T-shirts, Claire, I think you wanted the extra small ones. So the best thing for you to do is to get in touch with me at the channel. Drop me an email if you want to buy those. So I've got that milkshake one. You can see in the background, so I'm like a creamy one. I've got a white one and an extra small. If that's the only two I've got left in TT International hoodies. If you want an Andycharger hoodie like this one we've got in the front and the back, you can get those on the channel as well. You have to visit my website, my merch store rather, which is sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger. So that's sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger. There's a link on my YouTube homepage to the store. There's also a link to it on, if you go back through my posts I've put up, there's a link there. So all the hoodies available. If there's a colour you want that's not available on the store, then please message me and I can put the colour out for you. So the colours of the hoodies and the T-shirts are now named after our car's colours. So there's Imola yellow, there's a papaya, there is Mazzano red, there is Moro blue. There's also the light blue and the baby pink on there. So there's hoodies, there's T-shirts. If there's something, a colour that you would really like that you can't see, or a size you want, then let me know. Make sure you choose the right one, because there's also the International TT show ones that are on there as well. So there's the hoodies from last weekend, the merch. Is there white? Yes, there is white. You've got two white ones. You've got a Springfest T-shirt hanging up there. So that I'll be donning that when we come to Springfest. There'll be a range of Springfest merch. I actually prefer that because I love the logo. I love my glasses and the Springfest wording on it. I think it always looks pretty cool. That nice summer little addition to your wardrobe. But there is an Andycharger. It's got the Andycharger logo on the back. There is that. Oh, you can't quite see. I've just got the stuff out of the car and hung it up from the weekend. Mrs. Jugs, thank you so much for sending me £10 tonight. That's very kind of you. Love that. You're very, very kind and a very big support of the channel. It was great to see you and Lee at the weekend. I think Lee wanted a cap, didn't he? So I've got caps as well. I think Lee was after one of my caps, wasn't he? I've got a couple of those caps left. These are moleskin. These are really nice. So they're. I don't think they're on the store actually. I've got two left of those, so I have got those available if someone wants a cap. Hoodies are £30. T-shirts are £20. Obviously, if that's buying it direct from the merch store. But let me know that you find all the details on the site. Get in touch with me if you want anything from the merch store. Rob, if you want any merch and you want it brought over to Holland at all, when I come over, happy to bring it over and save the shipping if you wanted that as well. So happy to help out members like that. Steve, least I could do with all the hard work Andy's did for the. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, Mrs. Jugs. It's very kind of you. Don't forget about those glasses. Yeah, I'm going to get you a pair of those as well. That's very kind of you. It's just amazing all the support you guys give me and keep us going. This car is your car. This car is my car. If I stand back, we can go for a walk around it. So this car, Etienne, is my car. This is the Audi TT Mk1 3.2 V6 in Papaya, one of 41 made in this colour in the UK. It is a beautiful car to drive. It's a beautiful car to be seen in. It's a real head turner. I think I keep getting my leg caught on that drawer. It was really cool for the feedback I had over the weekend. A lot of people were taking pictures of the car. I've seen a lot of pictures online of it. There was even some photographers at other shows that caught us when we drove past, which is amazing as well. I've seen some really good moving footage that we've had as well. Hello, Hugo. How are you, buddy? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good evening, buddy. Good to see you on here as well. But yeah, we've got, this car is immense to be seen in the drive. I had so much good feedback over it. They're all great cars, aren't they? But the real bright colour cars are real head turners. So yeah, it's always great to be driving around in this. Mrs. Jugs, 100%. Thank you very much. Steve said that about that. Was it agreeing with you? Yeah, thanks. I do as much as I can for the scene. I try and really grow the scene and help as many people as I can with advice. I try and put people in touch with people who can solve problems. There's a lot of things that we are trying to do to keep these cars alive and keep the scene going for as long as possible, because it is a wonderful scene. I think the 5 days I've just had in Ypres and Ghent, with accompanied by channel members. While we were in Ghent on that little trip, there's been three channel members actually there three channel members that have accompanied us for most of the weekend. 4 with Richard George turning up in Ypres on Saturday. 5 with Rob Tabac. Obviously, he joined us as well. So there were 5 of us. I should have got all the members together. But of course, there's a lot of members on here that they've got like a pseudonym. So I don't know their real names and they don't make themselves known to me. But I would love it if you were there on Saturday and you are a member and you're here on the channel tonight. Please let me know you were there. And I know that Rob was there, Jeff was there, Mrs. Jugs was there, Richard George was there, Andy Morton was there. So there's 5 people I know out of the members that were there, but I'm sure there's others that I'm not aware of. But if you do see me at a show, please come and say hi. I can't wait for Springfest, because I've given first refusal to members. So if you want to come to Springfest, members are getting first refusal to that, because I want to make sure I'm giving back to the community, giving back to my inner sanctum, my inner group of members, so they've got an opportunity to come here. So there'll be a lot of members here that day, so it'd be great to get you all together for a picture as well. So if you're a member to the channel, let's have a team picture. That'd be really cool. Doing well, thanks, Andy. Looks like you had a great car meet aboard. It was amazing, Hugo. We had such a good meet. We had such a good time at the weekend. Much more than just a car meet, though. It's meeting new people, new friends, and just having a really good laugh about things. There's some funny pictures jumping around on the TT Addicts that people took. I don't know if everyone's seen them. There's a picture of me where I look like I've had too many drinks and I'm like hunched over like this, being sick. And Gina from the boss of the TT Addicts, she's sort of like jumping around in front of me as if I'm trying to stop me being sick. But really, if you look, my phone is on the floor and we were taking a cool picture, like a perspective picture. But from the picture Jeff took of us from behind, it looks like I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear, but that's not the case. But we look back on it and it was really funny. But we had such a good time on the weekend. A really good group of people I count as my close friends now. That's the thing. It's the 3rd year we've done this. Same people, staying at the Ariane Hotel. So if you want to be part of it next year, make sure you come along. The date hasn't yet been released, but I would imagine it's going to be the same weekend next year where we all get together and go back to Ypres. Thierry, who runs Caddy Cars, is very keen to get us back there next year. We do want to make sure we make some stipulations on it though, because we felt that last year we had the bar area inside to sit, and we didn't have that this year. We want to make sure that we have got somewhere to sit for people rather than just sitting on the floor. We will be there next year. Great, Steve. Definitely come along and make sure you get yourself booked into the Trumpet on the Friday night for dinner, because that is the best thing. I love that bit. That's probably my favourite bit of the weekend. Having dinner with you all, chatting, walking around, talking about cars. We had Tom Thornton and Emily Thornton there this year. They recently got married last year, young couple. It was Tom's birthday. So we decided Emily had asked us to make him a cookie stack. So as a bit of a thank you from me, my birthday present to Tom was I got my wife to make one of her amazing brownie and cookie stacks, which we took over and nursed around Belgium for 2 days, and then got the restaurant to present it to him on Friday night, which I think he was quite taken aback by. And it's him who's actually hopefully going to sell me a baseball interior, so I'll remind him of his dessert that he had on Friday. See if he can get me some money off. Only joking, Tom. But yeah, are you already 2 hours enthusiastic talking? Franks, I am. I created already some look back on the website. More materials coming. Frank, good to have you on. So Frank is one of the co-organisers from the show. Absolutely amazing website Frank's got. So if you want to check out Frank's website, not only for feedback on the show and look back at what's taken place, but he has a whole range of information about the history of the car, of the different versions of the car, what you need to know about the Audi TT. So to find Frank's website, go to audi-tt.eu. So that's audi-tt.eu, and you will find Frank's website. Lots of information on there. It's available in Dutch and English, so you will have it in multiple languages, all translated. Great site, great bit of information. So please check that out. Frank, we're looking forward next year already, are we not? So hopefully we'll have a date from Thierry very shortly, which we can announce to you all. Again, we have stipulated that we want to make sure we've got seating available for people next year. That's quite key. There will be a few tweaks to how things are voted for the various prizes if we hold prizes next year, because again, I don't think that was the best way of doing things. We're probably going to have it as an online form for people to vote and make it easy for people to vote. So one vote, one person, that's the way to do it. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you all there next year. Andy Mortimer, thank you very much. You just sent me £5. Thank you very much, sir. That is most appreciated. The support you guys give me and keep the channel going is amazing. It allows me to keep doing what I do week in, week out, and of course, buying things like my lovely gimbal, so I can now walk around the garage and I don't disappear off screen anymore. You can see me nice and clearly. Paul Hutchinson, I aim to do the next trip next year. It looks an awesome trip. It is by far and away the best trip of the year, the best show of the year. That beats the 2 shows I do here in the UK, which is obviously Springfest and also Quattrophenia. So I've definitely got more involvement in those shows, but I still think this show that Frank, myself and Simon organised is the best one of the year, because it's got so much. It's got not only the meal on the Friday night, it's got the show on the Saturday. We have now a cruise on the Friday afternoon, which was really popular this year. 25 to 30 cars turned up just for the cruise. Someone came from the UK for the cruise, then came to the restaurant in the evening. They'd already eaten, and they came up to me and they said, Andy, thank you so much for the event. We've only bought the car a week ago, but we saw you talking about it on the live. We've come over for the day. We've joined in the cruise, and now we've got to go home again. We can't stay. We've got plans tomorrow. So they came for the day, just for the cruise, which blows my mind. And I was so grateful that people are making an effort to do that. So yeah, Frank's is there. Again, we'll go for the Friday drive. That's amazing. Frank's and I look forward to the Sunday morning after party joining. This time, missed the photo shoot. Yeah, make sure you do that. I thought we did say we did tell you we were going. We were going down there for the photo shoot. Make sure you're there on a Sunday morning. We check out the hotel at 9:30 and we drive straight to the cloth hall and we put all the cars in a line. And this year we had some guys join us from Holland, a couple of guys, a German guy as well, and we all had a great lineup of cars there. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for next year. And of course, we are going to be doing Springfest on the Sunday, the 31st of May. There will be another one in August. It's just going to be amazing. Who would be mad enough just to come for a day? Yeah, Richard, who would be mad enough to come just for the day? Maybe you would be. In fact, that's not the first time you've done it for the day, but wasn't it worth it? I'm sure you'll say it's worth it. And you got to park your beautiful red Quattro Sport pride of place in the amazing indoor show and shine, which gave everyone the opportunity to set their cars up like an Audi showroom. It was like turn the clock back 20 years, 25 years, and seeing all those beautiful cars lined up. Well, maybe apart from the Mark IIIs because they weren't around all that time ago. But the Mark I's looked amazing. Some great cars in that room. Stanced, Audi TT, Stance, great car. The black one on air, brilliant car. The guy with the gold wing doors, amazing car as well. I mean, that's a highly modified car. I believe that is a Dutch car that's been around and been modified for many years. He's added his own touches. He's added the air ride, and he's also added the sound system, which is immense, absolutely immense. So definitely worth checking that out. But yeah, so guys, just looking back through the comments, lots of stuff going on there. I literally can't wait for next year. This might have a bit of work doing it before then. I am going to be taking the car off the road after the summer, and I'm going to be doing a full underneath restoration on the car. I'm going to do both the subframes. I'm going to be doing all of the underneath, the control arms, the bushes. So it's almost going to be a new car underneath, because underneath the car does actually look quite good from a chassis perspective, but the bolt-on components look quite crusty. So they will come off, they'll be powder coated, and they'll be put on the shelf as spares. Meanwhile, I'll get the rest of the car looking tip-top. So I'm going to buy some new seals and have them painted, get them on. Someone's after the bonnet of my car, actually. Not my car, but my old car. I've got it just down there. I've got a few bits to sell off the cars, actually. I've still got the old car is in the garden. That should be gone for Springfest. I need to get that gone. So I'm going to get my son at the weekend and myself and to push that car from the back garden to the front. We might have to tow it, actually, because it's in a bit of a bad way. Get it up on axle stands, get the subframes off it, strip off as much as I can. I've actually got the cats over there as well. Rob, thank you so much for sending me €5, buddy. That's very kind of you. I will make sure I buy you a drink when I come over. I can't wait to film your car, that spoilerless car, when we come over. I thought it looked immense on Saturday when we saw it, the black one with the spoilerless back. Can't wait to see your car and talk to you about it. There was quite a few. I say quite a few. There was 3, I think, spoilerless cars there. There was 2 Nardo grey, not Nardo. What's the grey? It's gone off the top of my head. The 2 grey cars. One was the concept car, and there was another in the same colour as well. There were 3 roadsters all together, actually, there, of all in that grey colour. One of them is Patrick's car. No, it wasn't rain grey. It was it will come to me anyway, because Nardo is the newer colour, isn't it? Grey. Nimbus, that's what I'm thinking of. Nimbus grey, that's the colour. Yeah, Nimbus grey. Rob, you asked me about my paint code for my car as well, and I'm going to dig that out for you and let you know what that is. But yeah, Nimbus grey. So there were 3 Nimbus grey roses parked together. I've got a great picture of them as well. 2 of which didn't have a spoiler, which is crazy to still think they're around. Obviously, one of those cars was the concept car that's been rebuilt. So I'm halfway through the video or editing of doing that video. Yos, I started it last night. Great story of that concept car. So I'm going to delve into the concept car a little bit in the video that I didn't cover actually with Yos at the time, but I've done a bit of research on that as well. So yeah, I'll be right back. Got to run upstairs. Okay, no worries. Your paint code is LY2B, mate. Oh, okay. This is, but if I had a roadster, it wouldn't be. it would be something else, because Audi, in their wisdom, they count the roof as a different colour on a roadster, believe it or not. So when I spoke to Audi about how many of these were made, they came back to me and told me, and the math, it didn't add up, because no, there's definitely roadsters, and they said there are no roadsters made in that paint code. And I was like, well, that's a bit strange, because I know there are genuine factory roadsters on the road in the UK right now in papaya. And they came back eventually and they said, that isn't the same paint code, sir, because it's a different paint code to yours. And when they came back, it's something like LYBA or something like that. I have to work it. It's on the video anyway, my that paint code. And it's because they count the roof, material roof, as one colour and the body as another. So they can't give it a different paint code. Nuts, I know, but that's what, you know, Audi work into Audi logic, isn't it? That's how it is, you know, bit nuts. I've just noticed my face tracking. See that? I can go off camera now. Why is that doing that? It turned the old face tracker back on. Wonder why it's turned itself off. Hold fire, guys. I'm just going to see if I can get myself. That's the face tracker, believe it or not. That bit clicks on my phone. I turn it off. I turn it back on. It should go dark. Oh, now it's going to. Is it trying to track me now? Right, so now it's gone blue, and now I'm going to put it back on the phone. Like that, and then I'm going to turn the green. Now it will face track me again. I don't know why it decided to turn itself off, but we're right back on it. Steve Chesson, thank you for sending me £5, buddy. Really appreciate that. That's a great. You guys are doing a great support of the channel tonight. Thank you so much. And of course, don't forget, guys, if you're interested in merch, Springfest is round the corner. Get yourself in some cool threads for the summer. We've got lots of stuff on the channel. And say these. I think if Mrs. Jugs and Lee are still on, I think you guys wanted a cap, didn't you? So if you do want a cap, I will keep one aside for you for now. So I know you did want one of the moleskin skin caps. They are. I'll put them to one side. If you do want one, let me know. And of course, if you enjoy what you're watching, guys, then definitely give it a little thumbs up. I will carry on. I'll try and make it till 10 o'clock tonight, and then I'll hang up and I will go and carry on editing the video with Jos. So we've got that video ready to go out. Hopefully have that out for maybe Wednesday. Ross is a great guy. Yeah, LY2B. Yeah, that is the code. You are right. So Richard kindly provided us that code, the paint code. The sticker, unfortunately, is no longer in the boot of this car. I have got the sticker that comes inside the manual still, the bit that goes to the service book, because actually, wait there 1 second. Right, waiting right here. I think I have my Audi manuals. There you go. So I have my registration document right there, which is pretty cool. And I think I have in my book. So it's the Chorus sound system I've got. Got the service book. I've got the warranty details. I'm pretty sure one of these has got the paint code sticker in it. Pretty sure it does have. Sure, I've seen it. Audi sent. Oh, I'll find it. I'll find it in the future, and I'll show you that sticker. But I've definitely got it. Excuse me. I have also got. I think that is got my radio code there for the original radio. Now, of course, I've got a double din head unit in this car. Yeah, I'm trying to find that book, Rob. Actually, I can't find it here, but I've got a whole host of information that comes with this car. I've got a big yellow, which colour coded with the car, folder full of its service history and the jobs it's had done over its years. It's got a massive wad of service information. It's yeah, I'm just trying to see where it is. So I've got. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. So be here somewhere. I'm sure we can go through it. I'm sure there'll be another time we can go through it and find it, and we can look at that. That's the Chorus one. That's obviously got the radio code, which we've got in the front of the folder anyway. But yeah, we'll find it and we'll go through it another time, and we'll talk about all the details on the car. I've also got a small video on your VIN number. So your VIN number is that what's it, 15 or 16 digits long code on the car that identifies not only things like the model type, the engine size, what factory it came out of, even that first one. So if you have any other car other than a Quattro Sport, your car was made in Hungary, or it was produced, let's say, or assembled in Hungary. If you have a Quattro Sport, it was actually assembled in Germany. So we all start off with our VIN numbers as TRUZZZ. Now the ones in the Quattro Sports have got a different prefix because they weren't manufactured in Hungary. But all of our other cars are TRUZZZ 8N, and then the rest of the information, which is sort of like the body color, the body type, the engine size, and the actual unique number of version it was made. But quite interesting. It's quite interesting to find out information, so you can identify a lot of information from your VIN number. But yeah, so jobs coming up again. So when we get the roadster in here, we might have the roadster in here next Monday actually, and we will talk about maybe doing the fuel filter. I've done the fuel pump obviously on the 3.2, not this one, but the blue one. That's a messy job actually. It's particularly, and not a lot of room in the car. So my advice to you, if you're doing the fuel filter in the car, is depending on how much room you want to work with. Obviously, you have the seat out because it's under the rear seat. The fuel filter is under the rear seat. I would take all of the seats out of the car, the rear seats out of the car, including the backs of it, and then work from the boot area rather than actually get in the car and just be all hunched up. It's really uncomfortable to do it that way as well. But what you do need to do is you need a hammer and a chisel, because the collar that goes around the fuel filter is a big black collar, and it has these like notched teeth around it, and you need to put the bolster like a chisel against it and get a hammer and knock, 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 and loosen that collar off, so you can then turn it off, get it off, spin it off to get the fuel filter out. The fuel goes everywhere. It's a real messy job, but highly recommend doing it and get it done if you've got a problem with it. It's something you can do at home, but it is messy and definitely worth doing. But this fuel filter job is definitely what I'm going to do the next few weeks. I'm also going to change the plugs in that car. So that Roadster, I've had it since 2018. I've never changed the plugs. It's only done about 10,000 miles in that time. Well, I do want to change the plugs in it. I've done an oil change recently, and I've also done the pickup pipe in it not so long ago. I've done a drive shaft on it not so long ago. So there's lots of those great jobs that I can do or have done already that I want to share with you all. There will be things I want to cover off. There was something biting my neck then. That creature was on my neck biting me. So don't do that, you naughty little thing. But yeah, there's lots and lots of jobs that we can do on the roadster, because I want to get that ready for my road trip around France. Can't wait for that. That's going to be such an adventure. Just the two of us setting off and going around France. Culminating for me in there's a few things that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to driving a lap at Monaco around the roads. Obviously, I'll be trying to follow the Grand Prix track as close as possible on the public roads that are open at the time, and do some footage and filming of that trip. I'm looking forward to going to Grindelwald in Switzerland and seeing the north face of the Eiger, because that's a big thing for me. For those of you that know me, you know I love the mountains, you know I love snowboarding, you know I love mountaineering, and I'm looking forward to going to see the north face of the Eiger, and maybe going into the Andreas Hinterstreusser story, a little bit about the white spider. If you don't know the story, I highly recommend it. There's a story called there's a guy that wrote a book called The Beckoning Silence, and he talks about that. But it's all about the 1936 exploratory party of four guys that went and did the North Face of the Eiger, and they all, spoiler alert, they all end up dying doing it. But it's a really interesting and really sad story. Definitely worth checking it out if you've not done already. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, because it means a lot to me. And I'm also going to the Grand Prix pits just outside Reims on the old Grand Prix track at the Reims Grand Prix, where you can park your car up and have a picture taken. Now, if you used to have a Scalextrics track back in your younger days, there used to be an old pit garage you could buy that looks just like that Grand Prix track in Rouen. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, that's an absolute little bit of a gem of information. I reached out to Circa and asked him if he had one and keep me in mind. So I'll be chasing him up then. He's got one for sale right now. Is it a genuine one or is it just like an aftermarket one? I don't mind whichever it is. Stephen Childers is that I need a good video on CD changer removal from a roadster. Okay. I'll see if I can pull that out the bag for you, Stephen, because I have a CD changer in my roadster. I wonder if I can do a documentary, a video on that. So the roadster is behind the the passenger seat, and the roadster in a compartment. It's not too hard to take out. I think I've got a roadster, not a roadster, but I've got a CD unit on the shelf here. So if you've got a faulty one, you need to swap it out. I've got a spare one here. Don't want anything for it because obviously it's just I don't use it. But if you want one, I've got one here for you guys. Simon Siggetts, you camping at Lauterbrunnen? Strongly recommend. Stephen, I'm not camping. I'm not camping. But Simon, sorry, not Stephen. It's good to have you on tonight, though, buddy. It was great to see you at the weekend. It seems like I only see you, like I said, at shows and ice hockey games. That's the only time I see you. So when you come and watch me play at Milton Keynes, but we will we'll have to get together at some point. And we'll go through the cars. I know you're in the 3.2 at the weekend, but in Joe's car. But if you be good when you get your Quattro Sport back on the road, we can maybe get together at some point. I'm not sure, but he still has it advertised for sale. Okay, yeah, I will look into that. I'll look into that if I can see if he's got it, because I do want one. We do think we can probably pull it off without needing a rack, to be honest. But it'd be good to have, wouldn't it? I think it adds to a bit of the old Thelma and Louise experience for the week. But we have booked somewhere for halfway through our trip that's got a washing machine where we're staying for 2 days, so we can wash everything we've got. So that's the why we've got for that. So before we go to Antibes, meant about what special tools will I need to do a clutch plate change on a 180 front wheel drive. Yeah, we had a chat about that the weekend, didn't we? And we got in touch with Bryn. So I reckon it might be a question for Bryn, that one, unless Richard, are you still on? Richard George still on? You might know a little bit about the clutch change on the cars. What if you need any special tools to do the clutch plate on the 180 front wheel drive? Let me know if you are. It'd be interesting to know. It'd be good to get some feedback for Rob, because he's asking that question there. But guys, yeah, if you've got any questions like that Rob's just posed, chuck them in the chat. Steve Chesson, you just sent me a message on Messenger on Facebook. Everyone keeps sending me messages tonight, and I can't answer them while I'm on the live. But I will come back to you all afterwards as well. So don't worry, I won't be ignoring people. Yeah, nothing special other than an alignment tool for the clutch plate. There you go. Thank you, Richard. That's always useful to know the answer. And again, we'll have to get you back down for a Q&A night, Richard, I think, in the next few weeks. Maybe we'll organise a Monday you can come down. Maybe we'll put the Quattro Sport back in the garage and go through the whole, go through the story again, cover it off on the channel, and maybe answer some viewers' questions and comments. And I can give you your light back, and maybe we can strip the rest of this engine down. Is that a good idea? It's the luggage rack for sale. Oh, thanks, mate. I'll check it out. Yeah, and we can take, there's something for your engine. Yeah, there ain't going to be much of that engine left this week. What's quite interesting is that when I first got that lump on the engine rack, which obviously is down here, guys, so it's on an engine stand right here, and it was so heavy, it actually pulled the engine stand over, and then myself and my son had to literally wrench it back up. It's heavy, but of course there's so much removed from it now that it's quite light, so it's got like a spinny handle here that you can turn the engine block, but I don't know if I trust myself. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that. I can turn the block now. So I couldn't turn the block before, and the reason I couldn't turn the block before, if I do that, was because it was too heavy. So I've just spun the engine block round so I can get it to. So if you were building, the idea behind that is when you're building an engine, you can turn the engine round and work on it at different angles. That's the whole idea of it spinning, I think. But of course, it was so heavy, it just spun out of control. Is there any joggle movement in the pistons? What, side to side? Doesn't feel. Oh no, it doesn't feel like it, mate. Might just be. You'll better tell me more anyway than I know when you're here. Actually, we can have a look at that a bit closer. Don't need something to hold the engine and the trans. I think you just do it on a jack, don't you? Or put an axle stand on it. Richard will know better than that on me. I'd have thought. Well, hopefully Richard will answer the question. But I don't think you need anything special. Stays as it is, but you have to drop the gearbox. That's it. I think you have to put it on a jack, don't you, to drop it down a bit to take it off. So the can't really say that. Is that the thrust bearing you class that has that bit on the engine that goes into the clutch plate? But I've got the gearbox actually in the garage off that car. Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly that. So an axle stand that can jack it. Yeah, I think you'd do that. Yeah, check it out, Rob. Brings the man for the serious mechanical stuff. Those big jobs, highly recommend it. He's just done videos, put it live on changing the cam belt yourself, which obviously we did film here. One of the versions of it, but unfortunately the strip lights that we've got here were interfering with his video. So the you have to set the frame rate to the right frame rate to get it to work. Otherwise, you get a lot of flickering in the lights. So he obviously didn't have his frame rate set at the right one for the lights, and then it's caused a lot of interference, which is unfortunate because we did a good video, but at the same time, he's done a cracking video on it. So if you want to check out Bryn's video on doing a cam belt yourself, it's about 55 minutes long, but it's definitely worth a watch. I say having him here for the day was worth its weight in gold for me doing my own cam belt on the Roadster. Yeah. So it's definitely worth doing it. Yeah, clutch removal. That's one of those big jobs that don't think I trust myself. Then do you know what? I've just realised. I'm going to give you a look at this. So I've just spun the engine on that stand, and look, it's now dropping oil on the floor. So I'm going to spin that back. So because I don't want it leaking oil all over my floor. So there you go. Just spun the engine back, stop it dripping all over the floor. I also need to put a cloth down now because what's going to happen, I'm going to walk through that and walk through it and then walk oil all through my house. So that's also not going to be great. All right, to the lads in the Dolomite Grey TT with the roof bars and LED bar, who we had some fun with getting on the ferry at Dunkirk. I don't know if the guys are on, but the two guys that you're talking about, the two brothers there, I think. So so that was Artie and Dante, two brothers, have got the high mileage 3.2 Dolomite Grey car that used to belong to Emily and also to Tom. They had a high mileage, I think it's is it Nimbus Grey or is it Dolomite? I think it's Nimbus Grey, but they had a high mileage one and a low mileage one. I think they still got the low mileage one, but the high mileage one they sold to Dante and Artie. And they have, or Artie's going to buy another one as well. So yeah, they really enjoyed the trip. I thought that light bar was pretty cool with those roof bars. That was you'd better see that coming, wouldn't you? That car, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So what's yeah, you have to remove a lot, mate. It's a big job. Yeah, it is a big job. Yeah, I don't want doing big jobs, but I just wanted to have the right tools. I'm going to do it on the driveway. It was a nice motor. Yeah, it was. It's pretty cool. So it's done about 170,000 miles. That car has, Simon. It's a serious amount of miles that car had done. Hello from America, my TT brothers. Hello, Brian Ferrell. Right back at you, buddy. Great to have you on from the US tonight. Always great to have our international contingent and friends on. We normally have Mr. GMT1 that joins us all the way from Australia as well. So that's always cool to have. We had Darren on earlier. He joins us from Minneapolis. He's got a massive collection of Audis, and Darren does share his cars with us or he sent me a private video on YouTube showing me his collection of cars, which was wonderful to see. I'm just going through the comments. Yeah, a lot of detail. Yeah, that blue TT was so sick. Are we talking about the cartoon effect TT? It's amazing. I took that car to the back of the roundabout when all the cars had gone, and we filmed that, and it was immense. It really looks great on camera. So I'm going to do a deep dive on that car. So look out for that as we look around the detail. In fact, it's such the detail of that cartoon effect that the guy that owned it, Gillian, his name was, he opened the TT flap, and even the petrol cap itself inside had been cartooned. I mean, that's pretty cool. He said, I've got an Easter egg to show you, Andy. Open the TT flap, and there was the petrol cap also done matching. He said, I didn't know he was going to do that. And then when I turned up to pick up the car, he'd done that as well. It looks really cool. What we've got, J4ZZX. Can you change the plastic guides in the Mk1 Audi TT gear selector without taking the whole mechanism out? Tasty Classics removed the clip and arm. But others said you need to remove the 30mm bolts. The hand painted, yeah. That blue was, it was absolutely immense. I'm just going to go back to that comment about the plastic guides in the gear selector without removing. So you have to remove the 30mm bolts. Anyone got an answer on that one? Yeah, Borderlands style T. That's the one we're talking about there, Simon. Yeah, that was it looked immense, doesn't it? Would you class that as steampunk, that styling, when they do that to a car? I know it's cartoon, but I don't know if it's steampunk or not. Hasn't got enough weird, wacky clothes on it for steampunk, I don't think. The question about the gear selector. Does anyone know the answer to that question for the gear selector from our friend in the US? Let me know if you know the answer to that for J4ZZX. We can get him an answer. And guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching tonight, then please do give the video a thumbs up. Vanessa, if you're still on, I just see you've sent a comment through to me in Messenger as well. Again, I can't see it till afterwards, but I will come back to you immediately after the video, guys, and give you an update you and come back on your comments. Of course, if you're on this chat and you've got a green name, it means you're a member. So once again, I want to thank all of you on tonight that are members and are watching still. It's always great to have all the members on. And if you do want to become a member, you can click the link below this video as well to become a channel member and support me in what I do. And keep me in wipers. So I'll have a little wipe. It's not a wipers, it's a Coca-Cola. Might have to keep lubricating the pipes to keep me talking. I'll probably keep going for another few minutes, guys. There's 32 of you still out there watching, so I don't really want to sort of cut you all off while you're still all watching and keep you entertained. Because anything you want to ask about, I think we're probably getting a few of the guys on from the international markets now over in the US. It's come to the end of their work day, so I guess the guys are knocking off, and they are, and girls, of course, as well, and they are joining us for their questions. So it's always good for them to send their questions over now that they are finishing their work. Some of the things that I didn't need at the weekend, actually, so I took a lot of spares. I took a spare wheel, which I've got in the boot of this car. We talked about it earlier about if you are going on road trips, I'd recommend taking a spare wheel with you rather than just taking tyre fluid, because it's easier to change a quick wheel at the side of the road than rely on trying to patch a wheel up or be left in the middle of nowhere without a tyre. Of course, if you do two wheels, you're in a bit of trouble, but more often than not, if you damage one wheel or you've got a slow puncher, you can easily just get yourself out of trouble by getting that spare wheel on the car and moving forward on that. Now, it's easier to pack yourself a jack into the spare wheel well and put a spare wheel in on the 3.2 than you rely on this stuff, as I talked about earlier, because this stuff is what they talk about you use in your pump to pump it into the car to fix the puncher, because this has a shelf life on it and it's a messy job, and if it doesn't work first time, you're kind of messed. So that's not. You can also get some of this, which is a one-shot can of that same stuff. So you can get a can of this tyre inflate. This is from Carrefour in France. We've used this in the past. We've had to get a friend of mine had a Mini I did tell the story on over the weekend. A friend of mine who's no longer with us, actually. Um, a friend of mine who passed away last year was a great guy, and he had many great times at the ring. And what he used to do, he would come over from the US. He would get off in Gatwick or Heathrow, and he would hire a car, and he would come and spend the evening with us and stay overnight here. And then the next day he would get up and he would drive to the ring, the Nürburgring, in the hire car that he had hired from the airport. So not only if you go to the ring or you're not obviously insured if you're a UK owner unless you get special insurance, I would imagine what you're not allowed to do is take it to the ring and drive it around the ring. Not only that, you're not allowed to take a hire car out of the UK unless you've got special permission normally through the insurance. But what Wayne used to do, he used to take the car without any sort of permission on the ferry, drive it to the ring, rag the car around the ring, cook the brakes, come back, take the car back to the airport and fly home. But one time we did it, we went to France and he got a puncture in Rouen and we were playing ice hockey and he wrecked the tyre to the point that the sidewall was completely gone. So I said to him, what you need to do is you need to get yourself some tyre inflation fluid like this, like foam, to fill the car up, keep it going, and that will get you out of trouble until you can get to a tyre garage the next day and get a new tyre. So Wayne went out, we bought a couple of the cans of this, and we filled this wheel up and got it to stay up, made it sure it was okay. But what he didn't tell me until he got back to the UK was he didn't go and get a tyre replaced. He went to the ring, he took the car around the ring with a tyre that was full of this and came back and lived to tell the tale for at the time. Obviously, God rest his soul, he's not here anymore, and it wasn't due to an accident with this. But that is just bonkers. So, guys, if you're going to the ring, do not drive a car around the ring that is A, a hire car, B, not meant to be out of the country, C, not insured, and D, not got a tyre full of this tyre inflation fluid. So there you go. That's a story for tonight. I didn't really share the details of at the weekend. I spoke to Vanessa and Lee and told them that story as well, I think. So hopefully that's a bit of an insight into the crazy world of which some of my friends lead. Just going to go back through the chat there. Someone's just given someone a membership. Thank you, Rob. You've just given Bad Toro a membership. That's very kind of you. Thank you, buddy. Stephen Childers, just 5 p.m. in North Carolina. So you're finishing work, I guess. Really want the motorbike mirrors. Have to do a respray. Can we get the details on which ones to buy? What is that, Sam? Not the mirrors that were on that concept car. You're talking about those mirrors? Because I think they were just a one-off, and they didn't actually attach the bodywork. The concept car mirrors actually attached the triangular windows on like a metal frame that went around the window. I don't know if they're street legal, but yeah. Steve Chestham, have a program air filter fit to my 3.2. I didn't fit it, but want to remove it. Do you think it's really worth keeping? It's really not my thing, to be honest. The Pro Ram air filter on 3.2 is going to give you no increase in performance. So I've had this discussion with a couple of people in the past who seem to think that they have taken their 3.2 and got a massive increase in performance by sticking an air filter in it. Absolutely not. There's nothing you can really do to that car. It doesn't even give it a better noise than 3.2 because the engine note gives it the noise anyway, and you can do minimal difference to the airflow to it potentially, but I think you're going to find it's minimal. I always think the induction kits do very little on their own, but that's only my opinion, and it's only what I think, but I might be wrong. Richard Brendel, has anyone been able to get the Audi rings out of the centre caps on the 9 spokes to paint their centre? Oh, yes. You can just leave them off. Wait there 1 second. Wait there 1 second, caller. That is one thing, guys. that I have plenty of. I've got plenty of these. So I've got plenty of these centers for wheels. So if you can just ping them off. Should we do it? Should we do it live on air? I wonder if we do it live on air. I will do it live on air. I'll find another one. And it's quite. Oh, I'm around here, guys. I'm around here. Here we go. Yeah. You can essentially take a chisel, a nice sharp chisel, leave it under, and you can actually just lift them off. So they have on the back, they've got these like little pegs on the back as well. So on the back, what I should show you first is they've got, I'll do it by my face. They've got 4 little metal pegs on the back, and what you do is you push them together, and that allows you to press the rings off, and then you get this under and you just ping it off. I'm hopping off. Rob, okay, buddy. See you next week. I'll message you on Instagram. Okay, buddy. We'll sort that out. Nice one, buddy. Right. I'm going to see if I can't really do it because the camera wants to follow me. But essentially, you push these metal pegs through like that. Come on, camera, follow me. You got these little pegs, and you push it up like that, and you'll see. Come on, camera. Can you see how those rings are popping off there? They're lifting up. So you've got on the back here, you've got, they're like a little rectangular peg. 1, 2, 3, 4. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm pushing it through like that. Like that. Come on, Link. Okay, so once I'm at this stage, can you see now? I've got the rings like that. Now, as I've removed those and I've pulled it off, you can see the little pegs. And what I've done, because I've been heavy-handed pulling that one off, I've left one of the pegs behind the legs. Now, it's not a massive problem. It's not a massive problem because you could just, as long as you've got a couple of those pegs left, you can now paint all of this. And now what I can do, I can line the little feet up again, and I can just push it all back in, push it back into position. It snaps into place. Okay, one of them's not holding, but you can just glue it back in. But they are, I say, ping them off and put it back on. Hopefully, I'm about to take the RAM air filter off my TT. The noise annoys me. Yeah, I think your TT was annoying most people in the hotel on Sunday morning with the drone from your exhaust, mate. So we were walking down the corridor, and I said, "What is that noise?" And I walked past, and I thought, "Oh, I know what it is. Andy's Merlin Purple is running in the car park." So yeah, I heard you droning away. Thanks, Andy. I was looking at those, but didn't want to break them yet. That's how you do it. So push the 4 feet, push it up a little bit, then lever it gently. Be careful pulling it through. Don't force it. It's almost worth getting a pry tool under in 2 places and lifting it together to get it off nice and square as well. So hopefully, Richard, that solves that problem. That's how you fix those rings. But that's an easy way of doing it, because once you've got those off, I would, if I was going to do it, the easiest way to do it is to paint your middle bit first. And then what you can do is then mask the middle off, then paint the outside, and then push your rings back on. It's done. Nice and simple. There you go. The things we do live on the channel, eh? I was going to jump off at 10, but I'm still talking. Still 27 people on. So, guys, if there's anything else you want me to do or demonstrate, or if you've got any questions for me. But again, of course, guys, if you want to pick up any merch from the channel, you can get that at sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger. So there's the all the hoodies, all the t-shirts are all on there. This refurbished one wheel, so we'll do the rest and centre caps. Yeah, worth doing, Richard. Absolutely worth doing. Makes a difference to the look of the car, because if you're refurbishing the wheels, the centre caps really can let the wheel down. So by doing that, it really makes a difference. And of course, if you want to customise it a little bit, you could almost change the colour of the centre caps maybe to match the colour of your car. If you haven't got a silver car, maybe you've got a blue car or a red car or a black car, you could really make them stand out by making a difference. L8Z8 paint code, is that black? You're not selling the papaya, are you? No. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it Christmas time, but no, I'm not selling it. Why is that? Are you asking? Are you going to offer me a price? Someone offered me 10 grand for it just for Christmas, and I seriously considered doing it, but I didn't do it because I had a conversation with quite a few people in the community, including Bryn, and I sort of asked people what their opinions were. Should I sell it? And I said it's 10 grand. It's good money. It's strong money, but would you be able to replace it with something similar? No. Audi Brilliant Silver, I hope. Okay, that's how much I know. I didn't realise that. Do you know how to replace the Audi rings on the 3.2 engine cover? I don't know if they pop off in the same way. I think they just sort of like fasten down through like some pegs on. I think they've got like little round pegs that pop into position, Steve, I think. Do you want to replace the rings? Because someone was on earlier that needs to get a set of rings to replace them. So if you're replacing with new ones and you've got some old ones you want to get rid of, Steve, I would definitely drop a message to that guy. Neil123T9Z question. Wow, the questions are coming quick and fast there. I've just missed a load of questions, so I'm just going to scroll back up. It was great to meet you, Andy, and all the other TT owners in Ypres. Likewise, Neil, I've met so many people this weekend. It's great to meet you all you TT enthusiasts and fans. Great to meet you all. So thanks for coming along and being part of it. Should I order the milkshake extra small through your merch page? Will I still get no? So Claire, drop me a message and we'll do that offline. So because I've got them, don't buy it through the merch page. Do it direct with me. So hold fire on that on the merch, Claire, and I will do that direct. But guys, if you want any of the merchandise from the show, any of the Audi TT International Show hoodies or t-shirts, you can order them all through the channel now on sellshirts.com/merchandise. No, sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger, and you can get your t-shirts and hoodies from the show right there. Obviously, members get a discount as well, which is always good. So definitely drop me a message at the channel if you're interested. Non-members, you can just order it straight through the merch store. But yeah, Claire, send me a message and we'll do that offline. Okay. In an old episode, you mentioned it. What's that song? What did I mention, buddy? Just going to go back through. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I was thinking about selling it, Simon, because someone offered me good money for it. But I decided not to do it. Question, my AC faded out on the trip over to Germany. Okay, later that day, and more places of black foam started to come through the vents. Is this a DIY repair? The black foam failing and I think the air conditioning failing probably be two different things. The foam on the inserts of the air vents is normally unrelated to the air conditioning failing. You normally find the AC failing is down to a leak or a failed compressor, or it could be well, mainly that or a degas system. So I think that's probably what you've found there. Unless I wouldn't have thought that would be a case of anything else. Agree. Different wheels on the seat. Actually, a different colour. Ridiculous. I agree. Keep it minor missing. Yeah, just pins hold it on. Yeah, great, Paul. Good night, Andy. Lee got work early morning. Good night, Mrs. Jugs. That's Vanessa and Lee. Good night, the pair of you. I hope you enjoyed the live tonight, and look forward to seeing you at Springfest. I know you guys are coming down for Springfest. I'm going to bid you a good night, evening, mate, as well. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that, buddy. I might disappear things like selling the car. Yeah. So I'm not selling the car. I'm keeping the car. It's going to be here for some time to come. I've got no desire to sell the car. But yeah, I think there's a few of the members that have dropped off now. But I think there's quite a few of you still on. But guys, if you want to become a member of the channel, then you can click the join link below and support me. There is an option to become a member and support the channel right there. So please do that. It really helps the channel. It gives you lots of extra behind the scenes footage. It gives you early access to many of my videos. There's lots of things it does, and it allows you to become part of our membership fraternity that we are building here at the channel. Got some really good bits going on with the members. Definitely leaving the exhaust on. I like the sound of it. Okay, I don't think the hotel did, but that's all good. It's each to their own, I guess. But yeah, it's one of those things. It might, in time, you might find that it does start to grow. I know that Ben did that with his, didn't he? It was a bit drony, if I remember rightly, but I don't know if he still suffers with that. I know he likes to take it through tunnels, doesn't he, and play the exhaust note. Oh, blimey! Definitely going to go and going to go back inside shortly, because I think we've got 24 of you on still, 35 comments, guys. If you're enjoying watching, definitely give it a thumbs up as well, so I know you're enjoying it. So to everyone that actually watches this on catch up tomorrow, thank you for sticking with. And again, if there are people that have jumped on since, the video will be coming for Ypres at the end of the week, and I will be giving away one of these amazing Audi rucksacks to one lucky person. What you've got to do to be in the chance to win this genuine Audi rucksack that came from the dealership in Ypres is answer on my video that comes out next weekend. I want you to watch it and let me know what your favourite car was at the show, and I want you to put it in the comments section below that video, and take the video and share it somewhere on social media. Pin it to your Facebook page, pin it to Instagram, put it on Twitter, which is obviously now X, put it on TikTok, link that video somewhere, and I will choose one person. You have to also be a channel subscriber, don't forget as well. You must subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments that you have done so, what your favourite car is at the show, and one of my subscribers will be in the chance to win that rucksack. I'm going to choose one at random using a random picker. Once I've got the list of people, we'll put it into the list, and one person with that. Now those rucksacks at the Audi dealership, I think they retailed at €45, so they're a lot of money, and they're genuine Audi rucksack as well. They call it a sling bag. Really quite cool, but I'm going to give my one away. So I've got my own one that I've had from the show, and I'm going to give mine away to someone. So if you want to be in the chance to win my Audi rucksack, which I've not even I've opened the bag, but I haven't obviously used, then you know what to do on the video this coming weekend. Andy, can I borrow your suction cup rig up for the roadster back window if I promise to send it back to you? I don't actually have the rig anymore, believe it or not, from doing it. But what I can do, if I'll try and put something together for you, Claire, and I'll post it up. It's just like a metal clamp with two like suckers on it, really, that you stick to the window. I haven't got many of them now. They've one of those things, they've all disappeared. But if I can find any of them, I'll send them up, Claire. I just bought a bag of suction cups off Amazon and made my own with some little metal brackets that I had from like some like curtain poles and stuff. But I'll see what I can find for you, Claire, and I'll let you know. But drop me an email at the channel so that I can sort you out that hoodie, that milkshake hoodie. It's yours, okay? So if you want that, I'll send that to you. Drop me a message and we'll sort out the payment of that as well. Steve Miller, there's a very good independent on the A12 near Colchester, John Austin. Oh, I've missed that question. What was that? I've missed that question. Andy, and any teacher especially recommend over Essex Way for work, bit of a health check. Yeah, depending where you are, there's also the guy that Jeff Bedford uses, a really good guy as well, doesn't he? In Jeff's in Canvey, but I think it's somewhere in Southend. I can't remember the guy. Bradley David Good, thank you. Andy, have a great night. Thank you, Bradley. Thanks for being on. Yeah, John Austin's close to me. I might try there. Great. Richard Rendell, there you go. I would do what Richard says there. Anything Richard recommends, I would highly trust with, because he knows his stuff. But yeah, if John Austin is close to you, then check him out. We've got a few people down in Kent, but got obviously Martin Scott up in Dartford that I've taken this car to and had things done on it. My personal favourite of things, if you're in South Essex, is there's a great TT owner, owns a Quattro Sport amongst other cars, a guy called Darren Johnston. And he also does work on TT. He's a really, really good guy, really great mechanic. What he doesn't know is not worth knowing. Highly recommend Darren. That's a personal recommendation from me. He is a really, really meticulous mechanic on cars and does lots of things. Did all Jeff's suspension for him at the weekend, so all good. Right, so we have been live for 169 minutes and 34 seconds. So I'm probably going to wrap up now. There's still 17 of you out there watching, guys, but I'm really getting to the point that I'm getting quite tired now, so I need to go and rest up. 19 people are joining on again now, but I do need to jump off. Where's Darren based? He's based in South Ockenden, Steve. He's based in South Ockenden. If you're happy for me to put you in touch, drop me a message at the channel and I will put you in touch. Yeah, appreciate all your kind words there about me going and get some sleep. I need it. I did 5 solid days of socializing, which is my social batteries were probably running towards the end of it. But great to see you all. Great to chat to you all tonight. Of course, the video will be out. There'll be a video out on Wednesday, hopefully, which will be all about the concept car roadster that Joss has put together, and it will be out. So out Wednesday night. So definitely check that out. The weekend, I should have the Ypres video ready to go. I'm probably going to do it as a bit of a different video this time. I'm going to do like a watch along. So there will be the video of all the footage. It might be me superimposed here and there talking about the different parts of the show and what went on. So yeah, definitely check it out. Have a bowl of ice cream, help that throat. Yeah. Do I sound gravelly? I can tell I'm getting gravelly as it's getting on. So yeah. So thank you all for being on. Thank you for your support. Check out the merch store again. So sellshirts.com/marketplace/Andycharger to get all your hoodies and t-shirts. And of course, if you want, so Claire, drop me a message, drop me an email, and we'll sort out that milkshake hoodie for you as well. And yeah, Paul, no worries, buddy. Always glad to do these lives. I know that from what you're all telling me is you love them on a Monday night. It's giving you something to watch, some bit of entertainment for you. It gives me a way of reaching out to all of you, giving back a little bit more than just the videos, and give you a live update and give you an opportunity to ask me things live and feedback to you. So I'm going to drop off now, but it's been great to have you all again. Thank you so much for your support, your donations, your memberships. And of course, if you're not a member and you'd like to become a member of the channel, click the join link below. And of course, if you want to donate to the channel and support me, you can also buy me a super thanks without becoming a member. You can do that as well. But thank you all for joining on tonight. You're all amazing, and I will see you all at some point. And if not, I'll see you next Monday. And don't forget, if you want to come to Springfest, get me an email with your details. Thank you very much tonight, guys. I'll see you all soon. Take care.